Hello, Scream Demons, and welcome to the Screams from the Basement podcast.
This is the scariest horror podcast on this side of the Black Lagoon. Screams from the Basement discusses the best double features the genre has to offer.
We also interview the industry's finest that make our screams become nightmares. I am one of your creepy co-hosts. I'm Casey.
And I'm Sam the Damned, and let's get screaming.
And on this episode of Screams from the Basement, we are joined by your favorite horror besties, Allie and Emma, from the Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks podcast to chat about our favorite, and maybe not so favorite, double feature of Ginger Snaps and Jennifer's Body. Welcome to the basement, Allie and Emma.
Yay! Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to be here.
So excited to speak with you guys today.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks, which, by the way, amazing podcast name. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Emma, this is Emma's little baby child, so I have to give her all the credit. So take it away, Emma. I will say, though, I credit some of her spookiness to me. I will take some of that.
Yes. So, Allie and I, we go way back. We've been best friends now for like 13 plus years.
And because we just got these.
Oh yeah. We both have matching little ghosty tattoos, and we did it on Friday the 13th. So
that's awesome.
We've been best friends for a really long time, and we've always been like really spooky too. Like we've both been like super into Halloween. We love horror movies. We love like decorating and having Halloween parties, and we always like call each other witches. Like we're like legitimately witches. And a long time ago, we joked about having a podcast called like Witches and Wine, and we were like, oh, we'll just talk about like spooky stuff. Like who knows? Never went anywhere. Never even like, it was just like a drunken winery conversation. And then a few years later, fast forward, and I work in marketing in my day job, and you know, I love my job, but I work with like very boring tech and like, you know, just software companies that have no pizzazz, and it's just there's not a lot going on creatively. So I wanted a creative outlet, and I'm like, I think I want to do a podcast. Like I think I can speak pretty well like in front of people or in front of a microphone. And I asked Allie if she wanted to be my co-host, and I'm like, hey, here's the deal. If we're going to do this, we're going to do this. 'Cause as you guys probably know, a lot of podcasts fail within like the first 6 months, and they just like don't realize how much work it is. And I'm like, I want to do something that's going to be like for the long haul, gets my creative juices out, and something we can just like do together. And so, yeah, that's like how it was born basically. And then my partner, he is our producer. You guys might hear us say the producer on the podcast. And he was so supportive when I was like, hey, I'm going to start a podcast. He's like, cool. Do you want me to edit it for you? And I'm like, yes. Like, thank you. That just takes like so much work off my plate. So yeah.
Okay, she's downplaying it. She came to us. She came to the producer and I. She's like, hey, do you want to do a podcast? I was like, yeah, hell yeah, let's go. And then she's like, cool. She sends me an entire Google Drive with like a business plan and like all the comms for any media outlets. And I'm like, how'd you already do this? And then she mentions that her partner, the producer, can do this. And I was like, cool. We're discussing it down the line. I was like, so how'd you get into podcast editing and producing? He's like, oh, I just taught myself like just now for this. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, I just learned this just now for this. And I'm like, no, you're fully professional. He's like, no, I just learned this just now for this.
Yep, fully self-taught.
So basically, Emma had an idea and kind of inspired all of us to go for it. So, and we're all just learning by the seat of our pants.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
The best time.
Yeah, it's so fun. We love it so much.
That's so cool. Yeah.
And here's the fun thing about listening to your show is, as you said in the opening to your show, it's your favorite horror besties, and that's what it feels like. Is like two best friends just talking about a horror movie, and I'm like, that's the best type of podcast to listen to.
Yeah,
and you pick fun stuff to talk about, like that you have a history with, especially movies from the 2000s, which is like what we're going to talk about today, and just hits both my heart, Sam's heart too. Like I think all of us are probably in the same age range of when we went to high school and what movies we grew up on. So it's very nostalgic also listening to your show.
Yes. Oh, that's so nice. That's how we feel listening to your guys's too.
That's
Right?
that
Well,
Yeah.
that's exactly what we're going for because that's what horror is to us. It's like brings people together, right? And just hanging out and talking with your friends about it. Old friends like Emma and I, new friends like us, like it brings people together. It's a
Yeah.
unifier.
Yeah. And it's
yeah.
like, Casey, I love that you said it truly sounds like two best friends talking because like we get that from people all the time that aren't even like horror like lovers. They're like, oh, we just like love listening to you and Allie talk. It feels like we're on FaceTime with our best friends. So I've been describing it to people as like Mean Girls meets like The Craft kind of energy, like because we're like very
Yes.
spooky, but we still have this like very girly side to us, and we can go on a tangent about makeup or about like clothing or like other things that we're just like interested in. And it's just like, it just feels so organic. And like, I wouldn't want to do this with anyone else other than Allie because it just comes so easily. I think like that's a thing that makes us work like really well. And it like, you guys definitely have that chemistry too. So love seeing that all here.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Casey and I, we've only known each other for 6 years now. It's
Hey,
like,
that's still six
yeah,
years.
we
Yeah.
met during the pandemic.
Yeah.
That's
Like
that's
literally
how
like
we started
summer
hanging out.
2020.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was kind of crazy. And yeah, I think I think when you're doing podcasts, like you have to have so many shows live and die on like the chemistry of the hosts, I feel like. I mean, I've listened to podcasts that have 4 or 5 hosts and I love the banter between them. And then like maybe because they have so many hosts, like one of them leaves. And
Yeah.
just having like one less person in that dynamic changes the show entirely, and I don't listen to it as often after that. It's crazy. So like yeah, when you find co-hosts that you have chemistry with, like you have to hold on tight.
It's like what it's losing a piece of the gang when someone leaves. It's like what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I gotta ask before we jump into the actual double feature. We sent you a list of, I don't know, we have probably, 50 movies on our Excel spreadsheet of double features that we want to do eventually, give or take.
I think you're underselling it.
It might be more. It's probably closer to 100 at this point.
Yeah, it's
Literally
probably
stuff
more.
we've written down before we even started the show. But we sent that over to both of you. Why did you pick Jennifer's Body and Ginger Snaps? Why was that the double feature that stood out?
I think just taking it away, Emma, just kind of speaking about what you were just saying, Emma, we are these girls who love horror, but we also love boys and pink and gossip and whatnot. And I feel like we embody in certain ways both of these films to a certain degree. In a way we can relate to Jennifer's Body and we can relate to Ginger Snaps. We can relate to the protagonist, the antagonist, the people that don't really matter in between. Justice for Chris Pratt's character's name. What was his character's name?
Roman. Yeah.
Roman, Justice for Roman. We can relate to all characters throughout both of these films. So I think um, it's just so fun for us to talk about. See, I'm smiling so big right now just thinking about both films. We are these movies.
Yeah, we also just did Jennifer's Body on our podcast too. So, by the way, your guys' list was fantastic. There were several choices that we were like, ooh, do we do this? Do we do that? Like, how are we feeling? But I think at the end of the day, we were like, okay, we just did Jennifer's Body. It's kind of fresh in our minds. We know that we can yap about this, and you guys will probably have to ask us to like shut up and cut it off and like stop recording. So yeah, we were just so excited to like chat about that with you guys. And the fact that you had not just Jennifer's Body, but like Jennifer's Body and Ginger Snaps. And like, I think I shared with you guys before we started recording, but we both recently just saw Ginger Snaps for the first time. And it's been on our list for a really long time. So it also gave us like an excuse to watch and like kind of compare to Jennifer's Body too as well.
And you know what was
Yeah.
so interesting is immediately as I started watching Ginger Snaps, I was like, holy crap, this is literally the perfect pairing to Jennifer's Body.
Yep.
It's the mirror. It's insane. They're a perfect pair, sitting down, having a nice meal, a little dinner date. Watch both those movies. You're done. Oh my god, it was perfect.
Yeah.
And I want to know, out of curiosity, how do you guys pair these together?
Well, this was an episode idea that I've kicked around for a long time. My history with like both of these movies. Well, I don't have a huge history with Ginger Snaps, but like Jennifer's Body, I have a distinct memory of like being in high school, having my small one-screen theater actually get this movie.
Oh,
And I, like, the Friday night that it started, I was at a football game because I was in the marching band. And I was like, I remember getting off of the field from halftime, dropping my drum at the sideline, telling my friend, will you take care of this for me? And running to my car while stripping out of my marching band suit so I could drive down to the theater and watch
we're
this
ready to
movie.
go.
Like, I had the soundtrack already. I'd been bumping it.
Oh,
Like, the soundtrack is just, it was
so
my
good.
music, you know? Like, and I had the junior novelization of this movie before it even came out. Like,
Hey,
and so I think I knew, we'll talk about the marketing of that movie, but I knew going into it what it was, and I don't think a lot of other people did, because I went with like a group of friends. I was like, meet me at my car at halftime, like we're all going to this. And I was the only one that walked out of that theater going, oh, that was awesome. Like, and I went with a group of girls. Like, I went with all of my like quote unquote girlfriends, including my actual girlfriend, who is still my girlfriend. But and I was the only one that liked it in that whole group. And I have been singing the praises of this movie ever since. And it's finally gotten its resurgence. I
oh,
love it so much. And then, like, I don't know, a decade or so after I watched it, I watched Ginger Snaps. And I was like, oh, Jennifer's Body doesn't even exist without this movie. Like,
yep.
oh my God.
We have the
What?
same reaction. Same reaction.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
low-key like plagiarism. I don't know, but that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's a shot of, you know, Ginger walking down the hall in like her
In slow-mo
purple
through the
top
high school.
in
Yeah.
slow
Yeah.
motion doing the hair thing. And like they literally copy that frame in Jennifer's Body, and it's
So good.
incredible. I
It's
love
okay.
it.
I have a conversation about that. Do we have it now or save it for the meat and bone or meat and potatoes?
I mean, we embrace
Okay.
chaos on this podcast,
Okay,
so why
okay.
not?
So that scene walking down the hallway I was like, wait, oh my gosh, stolen from so many things, or is this the inception of this shot? I don't know. Then I was like, okay, what was the first scene for the hot girl walk down the school hallway shot? What was the first movie to do that? And do you guys know?
No. Oh,
I
wait.
don't actually.
Can I guess?
You can guess, because I mean, I don't know if there's an actual answer. There's math or years that can date movies. But I'm like,
I
what
don't,
is the first one to do the hot girls walking? Because Mean Girls, you have Mean Girls.
I was
That's
gonna say
Right.
like I was gonna say like Heather's or like Jawbreaker.
Okay, great. Heather's is where my mind went to too. They don't have a scene like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Jawbreaker. I'm so glad you've seen Jawbreaker.
I
Jawbreaker was
love
the first
Jawbreaker.
one that I could go back and be like, and that was actually, I think, 1999 or 98 or something. So that was like right before this. They're all
Yep.
around the right time, the same time. And I'm like, okay, this is the birthplace of hot girls walking down a school hallway. And how that's a pivotal shot now. We're talking about it.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that is a
Yeah.
shot in classic, not even just horror movies, teen movie. This
Just
is a
teen
teen
movies in
movie.
general.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So I was like,
Does
whoa,
the craft
my
does the craft have a shot of the four girls
Yes.
that's a
doing
great
that?
question
Oh,
because
for sure.
do you
Right?
think
Right.
they must?
I'm pretty sure they do once what's her name becomes really like part of their group and like their
Yeah.
fourth witch. I feel like
Yeah.
Casey, you're totally right. I think
I
there
haven't seen
is
that
one.
movie in a while, but
Yeah.
I
And
feel like that was definitely in the movie.
to that point, Emma, it always seems to happen when our like ugly duckling transforms and is this new hot girl in school. It's when
Yeah.
Violet becomes she's no longer Fern, she's Violet in Jawbreaker, and
Yeah.
now Ginger is no longer like pre-teen. She's like, I have a period, Ginger. I'm a werewolf,
Right.
Ginger. This movie's about periods. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But so yeah, that whole conversation about high school girl movies and just getting all of those tropes that we see so thematically throughout all these films.
Yeah.
Just so good.
Yeah.
I want
That
okay,
just
so
sounds
this was a first time watch for me on Ginger Snaps. This is only my second watch of Jennifer's Body, and I know it was during the podcast. We were doing the podcast when I watched Jennifer's Body. And I didn't have the nicest things to say about it the first time I watched it. So I'm glad we are doing this. I will save my thoughts for when we do Jennifer's Body. I'm just teasing Sam on if I
He
change my
didn't
mind
even
on this.
star rate it on Letterboxd because he's a son of a bitch.
I didn't star rate either of these movies just to keep you in the dark.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't like Ginger Snaps, you're crazy though. Like, you know, maybe there are some critical things you could pick apart on Jennifer's body, but I don't think so. So I don't know.
Casey, I hope it doesn't feel like we're ganging up on you
Yeah.
later.
No, no, no.
I hope it does. We're all
Here's
gonna
the
gang up on you.
Here's the thing. We're gonna jump into Jennifer or Ginger Snaps now.
Cool.
Sam, I loved this movie. I loved this
Good.
movie. It's incredible. Like, this movie rules. So let's jump into this. Ginger Snaps, released May 11th, 2001. Somewhere in there came out in the United States during that year. Kind of has a weird release history between Canada and the U.S. Directed by John Fawcett, creator of the Orphan Black TV show. I've never seen it. I've heard great things. Written by Karen Walton. Cast includes the great Catherine Isabel as Ginger Fitzgerald, Emily Perkins as Bridget B. Fitzgerald, Mimi Rogers as their incredible mom, Pamela. Jesse Moss plays Jason, the kind of douchebag frat boy type of the high school. And then Chris Lemche plays Sam, the drug dealing. Is he a high school student or is he out of high school? Either way, he's kind of a creep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he is in high school, but he might be like a senior, right? Or like,
yeah.
He's
That's what I always took from it.
We
he's the
gotta
character.
talk about it. Yeah.
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 He's like that creepy character that you don't know. He's like, is he held back? Is he 5 years out of high school? Why is
Yeah.
he still going around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and the fact that he's taking an interest in Bridget in
15-year-old
particular
girl. Yeah.
is like there, and the fact that like Ginger is very much like you. What are you doing? Like hanging out with this guy. There's an implication there that maybe he is either a senior or he's definitely 18. Like, and
Yeah.
you know, he's got his creepy van and everything. We all knew that guy. We all knew that guy in high school. Like, if you went to high school, you knew that guy. And yeah, ugh, what a. Yeah, I love this actor though because he's also in my favorite Final Destination
He's
movie,
in
playing
Final
basically the
Destination
same
3,
character.
yeah.
Yeah, he's in Final Destination 3 playing the exact same
both of the
character.
high school guys that we spend time with are in Final Destination 3.
Isn't
Yep,
that
Jesse Moss is in it too. Yeah.
Isn't that the weirdest okay, so here's my conflict is I'm attracted to, I keep calling him McKinley in Ginger Snaps because his name is McKinley in Final Destination 3. I like him in
Yeah.
Final Destination 3, so I like him in this movie, but that's a creepy line to walk.
Yeah, it is. It is. And like he kind of has that like Christian Slater in Heathers kind of vibe
Yeah.
to him. And it's hard to not find him alluring while also being like, oh, that guy is gross.
Yeah. Like the vibes, I'm getting some weird, creepy vibes, but also like, am I kind of attracted to it? Like, you're like, I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
There's something I
yeah.
like about him.
There's
And
a
there's,
a definite
There is a feeling, and this matters to a high school girl because a feeling of he seems older, so we should like trust him and believe him and
Yeah.
know him, and like that does have power over a teenage girl. You know, he's older. I should trust him.
He feels like
Mhm.
unattainable too. So there's like oh, if he's interested in me at all, it's like I've kind of got this like one up on others, or like, you know, at least like internally, like I feel special, you know.
yeah.
And I'm sorry, one of the actresses is also in Juno, and she's the man, and it's really distracting me throughout the entire movie. Do you know the girl,
Is it-
Catherine
It's the-
Isabel? Which one is it? They look so
Is
they,
it-
I must say they did great on their casting because they actually look like sisters.
Oh, Emily Perkins.
Emily Perkins.
Yeah.
She does not age at all. She plays different characters in different movies throughout different decades. She doesn't age.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
It's-
she's
I know
older
her
than
from-
Catherine Isabel in this. Like, she's older than Catherine Isabel.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
I guess she's older in general, not just specifically in this, because that's not how age works. But yeah.
I know Emily Perkins from the It miniseries,
Yeah.
which is
Oh, yeah.
11 years before this movie came out, and I'm like, how do you look still like a
This-
14-year-old
Same.
girl?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Casey, I thought the same exact thing. I'm like, I know her, and just take away like the black hair in front of the face, and then like, you know, you're like, oh, that's our Beverly right there.
Yeah.
So
A bloody sink. You put a bloody sink in front of her.
Yeah,
Look at
and
her,
there's
just always dealing with. She's always has blood on her face and all over her body in all these movies.
always
Always
Right.
dealing with blood.
yeah.
Sam, do you have a plot synopsis for Ginger Snaps?
I do indeed. Oh, and Boris is gonna do his
Maybe
thing.
Boris will read
Hello,
it.
dude. Come here, buddy. Come here.
That's a big boy.
Oh, he is massive, yeah.
I love him.
Aw. Say hi, Boris.
Unofficial Screams from the Basement mascot, Boris.
Oh my god, I love him. What an angel.
He is. So, the plot of Ginger Snaps that I have here is two death-obsessed sisters, Bridget and Ginger, have their sisterhood tested when Ginger is attacked and turned into a werewolf, all while going through that hell we all know called puberty. It's terrible. The puberty is the scariest part of the whole thing.
It truly is. It truly is.
Yeah,
I think
Ginger Snaps.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is when up until, I'm in my 30s, so all of these years, I was like, Ginger Snaps. To me, it sounded like a
Christmas movie?
Christmas movie. I don't
Yeah.
know where I got that from. I'm like, gingerbread cookies, Ginger Snaps is a sure. And then learning that the girl's name is Ginger, oh my God, she snaps. Got it. But up until last week, I was like, this movie is somehow a Christmas horror movie. No, it's about werewolves.
And it's very Halloween set too.
Yeah.
I know. If I had to make one note about this movie, it's that the title is clever, but it's not a good title. Like, no wonder this had to be a cult classic, because like, who looks at a title like Ginger Snaps and goes like, yeah, that's a werewolf movie, you know?
Totally.
Or even that's a teen movie. I don't know.
Sam, did you hear though that they were playing around with titles that were like so much worse though? I guess they were playing with titles like Teen Wolf Girl, or like something
Oh,
just
no.
like literally like to the point where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, wait, what?
Oh,
And then I guess
God.
the writer, remind me of her last name.
Karen Walton.
Walton. She, I guess, like saw like Ginger Snap cookies like someday, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, that's kind of funny." And she's like, "Okay, main girl, call her Ginger, and Ginger Snaps." So that's kind of like the origin of that. But I agree with you. It could have been. Let's maybe noodle on that a little bit more, but it's better than like Teen Wolf Girl.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. I mean, at least it's clever.
Yeah, exactly. At least it's a little bit of a, a fun.
I was going to say,
title.
if you know what the movie is, it's immediately like you say Ginger Snaps and you know what movie you're talking about. It's not like
Oh, yes.
The Night
There's
of the
no
Werewolf or
question.
something. Like, which one is that again? Like, what
Yeah.
werewolf movie is that?
Yeah, that's such a good
Like,
point.
no, you
Yeah,
immediately know it's the teenage girl werewolf movie.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
but if you don't
If you
know
know
that,
the movie.
if you know
Yeah.
what it is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
If you don't, you're like,
you're-
yeah. Is this a Christmas movie? Is this a comedy?
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, and the poster is always just the two of them looking moody, and there's
Yes.
no hint of like a horror bent to it at all, except for maybe the color grading, and
Yeah.
that's about it.
And do you
Like,
ever feel like there's those movie posters where there's enough of them that are just two moody girls standing, and I'm like, I'm kind of confused. I'm like, when you're glancing at the movie covers in Blockbuster, you're just kind of looking for the outline. I'm like, moody girl, 5 cast members, cat, moody girl. My God, there's just too many of them.
Yep. Especially at this time, because this was the like boom of the moody teen movie, you know? I just this isn't meta or self-commentary like Scream is, but like this definitely isn't a movie that was made in the wake of Scream, you know? Like these are characters who are, I mean, I guess they're not like, it's not meta, but they are kind of aware of what werewolves are and things like that. So there's, because you have like this whole subplot, well, not even a subplot, it's the plot, where Bridget is trying to convince Ginger that she is turning into a werewolf, and Ginger is like, no, I'm becoming a woman, and you're just jealous because you're not. And it's like, oh shit, like this is, I love this movie. I love how on the note. Like I like a good metaphor that's just on the nose. I like a metaphor that's not trying to be like, oh, we're trying to be super artsy about it. Like, no, it's like, hey, guess what? Lycanthropy is like your period. That's what it is, you know? And I respect a movie for just going with it and saying that because, media literacy is dead, so sometimes you just kind of need that.
Sometimes it's okay to just tell the audience what the movie's about.
Yeah.
Funny you say that.
A little bit of a slap in the face.
We just covered Suspiria. Talk about an artistic film, but Suspiria is a film where, it's known for being artistic, creative, all that, but it's also a film that's like, hey, there might be witches. Oh no, there are witches. And it's like, hey, this movie's I am turning into a werewolf. Like there are werewolves. I am on my period. Like, it's very like what this movie's about. And like you said, Sam, sometimes you just need that. I don't need all this poetry navigation. I need to be told what to think.
Yeah.
And kind of talking about the timing of this movie a little bit, it's, to me, again, this movie is such a, it's so ambiguous in my mind, because 2000 was a year that all of us were kind of, either in our teenage years, kind of, and I don't remember this movie being a teen movie. I think I was just a little too young just to accept and appreciate this film as being a teen movie, so it went into this confusing bucket where I was like, I don't know what this is. Beyond the title even, I was like, Ginger Snaps, too scary for me. It was put into a bucket, like PG-13 or whatever, or can't watch it. So maybe that's why it took me 30 plus years to finally sit down and watch it. But this movie, what was on the tails of Scream and all of these teen horror movies. So this was capitalizing on this timeliness of this film. And I think they did a great job of making it funny enough while not losing its edge. There are those horror films that just lean into too far into the comedy, almost. Like, I love Idle Hands, but that's pure comedy. This movie keeps, you know what I mean? This movie keeps its edge to a degree that, and it doesn't lose it with the comedy that's in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I agree.
That was easy to lose that edge around this time because of all these teen movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really funny movie, but it never loses like the sense of suspense or its danger involved, especially in the third act when you get full on werewolf Ginger and it's like, oh no, there's a real danger here. It's not just like a fun, cute teen movie anymore. It's like, no, there's a werewolf in the house with B, and it will get her because this is no longer her sister at that point. So like that's a fine balance that the movie just rides the entire wavelength of this movie. Is just keeping that suspense and actual horror with the fun teen goth comedy.
I agree. I think too, like, to both of your points, it's a good film when it can ride that line, right? Because sometimes it's so easy to just stay in like one quadrant or the other. Talking about another recent film we just did on our podcast, and I mean, we do not love this director, but we did just do Cabin Fever. And I think Cabin Fever, that's one thing we did talk about during the podcast episode, was that it effectively has these like funny moments, but then things are still like incredibly serious and there's still like really scary things happening. And that's how life can be too. Like when you're going through like some of the worst things you've ever gone through, it can be terrifying. But like a lot of people can still find a little bit of humor to just try to like, take the edge off a little bit. And I think like these films, especially like Ginger Snaps too, just like does that so effectively. And where like, we're going to talk about Jennifer's Body in a little bit, but Jennifer's Body almost leans like so heavy into like the humor and the one-liners and the like, just like making you kind of just be like, oh my God, did she just say that? But like, okay, she just said that. Wow.
Do you almost feel like this movie is a timestamp of itself? Like it's so 2000, 2001. And even though Jennifer's Body is 8 years later, it's in a different hemisphere of style and tone. They're so similar, but they're so different just because of those 8 years or that decade in between. You're speaking into two completely different audiences, but you're telling them the same story just so differently.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I consider both of these movies something of like a time capsule because, I mean, growing up in both of these years, you know, like granted I was younger in 2001, but like I remember 2001. I
Yeah.
remember what it was like. And you know, Jennifer's Body, there is not a better movie that, at least in my opinion, that captures the high school experience of 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So,
Yeah.
so like, yeah, I think that both of these movies, they're telling similar stories. They're telling stories with similar themes, but they're also very much speaking to the teenagers of that generation. So, like, I could see if someone was older than like the teens, if someone was like a 30-year-old when Ginger Snaps came out, I understand maybe being like, well, it's not really for me.
Yeah.
Or like if
Totally.
someone was like 40 when Jennifer's Body came out, like you're probably going to be lost because that dialogue is very 2009.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to assume that Casey's been lying to me about his age and he's actually like fucking 50 or something.
I'm just a really, really old man and was 37 years old when Jennifer's Body came out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think that this movie, Ginger Snaps in particular, is just like, it's one of those movies that whether or not people consciously think this is like a movie that influenced them moving forward, like this is a movie that influenced just horror in general going forward. I mean, the color grading on this movie alone is amazing. Like the visual look of this movie. Funny story about when I watched it this time. I have owned this on DVD for a while, but I've never actually watched my DVD of it.
Fair enough.
Why are you just doing laps, buddy? And I popped my DVD in, this DVD that I've had for like probably a decade, for the very first time, and found out that it was cropped in full frame. And it looked like garbage because it was from like 2000. Like, I think I got the Canadian DVD that it was released on, like back in 2000, because the video quality was awful. And I'm like, I'm not watching it like this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I went and I rented it and
Oh my
watched it
gosh.
the way, you know, God intended. But like, oh my God, I popped the disc in and immediately was just like, nope,
No.
I can't do this. This is too beautiful of a movie to watch with.
Like this.
Yeah, it was bad. But then once I, you know, like, I don't know, especially when you get into that third act and you get into the Halloween party in the greenhouse, which, like, who the fuck thinks to do that? Who puts a Halloween party in a greenhouse for the third act of your horror movie? It's so cool. Like, it's the coolest thing ever.
So
Also,
that,
is this greenhouse attached to their high school? Like, is
I
it their
wanna
high
know
school
that.
greenhouse, right?
Maybe.
I'm wondering too.
That's where I'm
So this-
questioning how old the Sam guy is, because I don't know if he's growing weed in the high school greenhouse or if he's like the Matthew McConaughey. I graduated high school 2 years ago and I'm sneaking in to grow weed in the school's greenhouse.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if he's graduated or not. That's 100% weed in the school's greenhouse.
It is.
Yeah.
But also, okay, so going back to Sam, not co-host Sam, movie character Sam. He at one point shows up to talk to B, and she's like, "What are you doing here? I'm in school right now." So I'm like, "Oh wait, is he out of school
yeah.
then?
He's
yeah.
out of school then.
He's out of
Yeah,
school,
that's-
right? He has to be.
That's a context clue. Yeah.
He's taking a gap year, maybe.
Is that a thing in high school?
No, but after. He's like in that
Yeah.
limbo. He's not quite
Oh.
in college yet. But
He's
like,
selling all the weed so he can go to college the next year.
exactly.
Yeah.
you're
Hey.
a king with him. Oh my gosh.
Can I bring up one thing about the greenhouse? I just have to say this because it was in my mind the entire time we were just talking about it. But I also love a good werewolf greenhouse like trajectory, because if you guys have seen Silver Bullet, there's like the greenhouse
Yes.
like scene in like Silver Bullet, and like I love that film. It's like so good. And I'm pretty sure there's like other films that have werewolves and greenhouses too.
Me. I'm raising my hand. Twilight.
Yes.
Ah,
100%.
okay.
100%.
So
The
I'm
new-
talking about Grady. Go ahead.
The new
Go ahead,
Lee
Casey.
Winnell movie has a werewolf in a greenhouse.
That's true.
Yes.
Not a good movie,
Yes.
but it has that scene.
Actually,
yeah.
Still a greenhouse.
So here's the thing: the Wolfman does something similar to Ginger Snaps in the fact that like this movie is you're watching Ginger slowly transform into a werewolf, and like that's kind of what you're doing with the Wolfman from what was it last year, but
True.
just yeah, done way less effectively, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing that I really love about Ginger Snaps too is that going back to just like talking about it being sort of like it's really like an allegory for or metaphor for a girl's like period and their cycle, right? And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that they're trying to make that comparison between like the cycles of becoming a werewolf to like the cycles that you go through like during your monthly period and how like the full moon's kind of where everything like comes to a head and whatnot. But I like just like love that. Like because I love that they don't, even though it is kind of a part of it, it's not like the entire like thing, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
it's like she could have been like anyone could have been bit by this werewolf, right? It just like happened to be her. She happened to just start her period right beforehand. And so it's just like we're just on this like journey of like not only self-discovery because she's like kind of becoming a woman and just like trying to figure out like who she is and like puberty. I love Sam, you said something at the beginning where you're like, oh, puberty, like that's the worst part of this entire thing. Totally agree. But I just like love that is such it's like, hey, these two things can be like true at once. She's like going through her period and becoming a werewolf. And like these things weirdly are very related. And like, here's why.
I think it's almost, I think it's kind of cool that you don't even need so much of the werewolf aspect until the third act. You kind of forget, you almost forget it's about a werewolf because you're so focused on this other transformation part, a woman's transformation. You're focused on that, and it's this relationship between sisters. You're looking at it like it's the little sister. They're only a year apart. I think they're 15 and 16, so they're so close in age, which means I mean Emma and I are sisters, but we don't actually have sisters, so we don't know what that relationship is like, in real life. But being so close in age, and I can only imagine your sister is getting boobs, talking to boys, and you're not. You're like, whoa, wait for me. So that's what this movie is about, is that dynamic, that relationship, and with a hint of werewolf,
And there's also like the fear aspect too, right? Because like, I mean, as women on this call, on this podcast episode, like, going through that is also so scary. It feels a little alienating because even if you have your friends, your mom, other women in your life kind of supporting you, you're still like, what the hell is happening to me right now? And like, is this normal? Everything is a question. Everything is like, help. Do I need to go to the hospital? Like, what's going on? And like, that's also arguably the same questions you're asking going into becoming a werewolf.
Literally, yes. I'm shaking my head like, yes, it's a transformation. I'm like, that sounds crazy, but no, straight up, you're transforming. And
it's really brilliant.
It's brilliant. It's confusing. It's scary. It's what I can say with this is one of the best monologues I've ever heard is the nurse's monologue about 28 minutes into this film. And she basically is talking about she's saying all these horrible things, and it's just basically what happens to you. It's all of these things into one, and it's the nurse explaining what happens to you when you become a woman and you get your period. It's us as an audience trying to understand where this is likening it to becoming a werewolf. So it's all these metaphors being thrown into us at once, but this nurse is saying it's every 28 days for the rest of your life, you're going to lose about 6 pounds of blood, blah, blah, blah. She's so laissez-faire about it. And this girl's like, okay, my body's changing and I'm becoming a werewolf. Like all of these things. The whole movie is so brilliant. So first of all, thank you guys for bringing this to our attention and making us watch it. Because it gets you thinking about the story of becoming a woman and how it really is just becoming a werewolf. Yep. But how isolating it is and scary it is, and how becoming a woman's just like that.
Yep.
TED Talk.
Yeah.
No, and that's why I'm glad that we have you two on this show,
Yeah.
because obviously we have a different perspective. Like, puberty sucked for me, but it probably sucked a lot less for me than it did for you two. Like, I'll be fair about that.
I mean,
You know,
there could have been like, there's stuff probably you guys went through as guys and we went through as girls that just like, we're never going to relate immediately, like, or exactly on those things, but it was freaking hell for everybody. Let's be
And
honest.
yeah,
but you know what's cool is we can talk what unifies. We're two women talking about it to two men because
Yeah.
we can talk about it through a horror movie.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
we're like, hey, you want to know what a period's like? Watch Ginger Snaps.
Yeah.
I'm like so morbid. I'm thinking like my future daughter. I'm gonna be like, hey, do you want to watch this movie called Ginger Snaps? And we'll just like learn a little bit about what's about to happen to you. You're not going to become a werewolf, but it could be this bad. So don't worry, because it won't ever be that bad.
You won't ever grow a tail.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Don't worry. We will not have to strap it to your leg to go to school. So don't worry.
oh, the tail thing. Like, I don't know why. For me, the tail is the most horrendous part, but
I
I'm just
agree.
like, I'm just like, no. If some extra extremity is growing out of me, I have an immediate problem with that. Like, no, thank you.
I don't
The
No.
know.
gross part of it for me is that it's not hairy. And I think that's the scariest part
Yes.
of this werewolf too, is like how little hair is on the werewolf. And it's like
Yeah.
just kind of
Yep.
like
It looks like a naked mole
glistening,
rat at the end.
glossy, like a naked mole rat. Yeah. No Ron Stoppable involved, just a big ass naked mole rat.
Yeah.
No, that was actually I was gonna bring that up too. I'm like, that's probably like arguably one of the more jarring parts of this if you compare it to other werewolf movies, is like the lack of hair. Is like you're like, oh, okay, well, this is a different type of werewolf, but like, okay, we're rolling with it. Like, still very scary and arguably like more gross, I think, in a lot of ways. Like,
Wait, I just thought of this, and this could be like way too out there, but stay with me. Could that be just like because puberty is just growing hair at like weird stages and phases and time lengths, you know? It might
think
take you
that's
like 12 years to grow a beard.
yeah, that's exactly it. Is like instead of, and I think I read an interview too with the director that he like also just wanted to do something different. He's like, we always see like the hairy werewolf, and that's just like part of the transformation. And he's like, but like, what if there's like a werewolf that maybe doesn't have as much hair, and like we don't get a clear answer, but like maybe it has to do with her being a woman and going through puberty herself. And like maybe one day when she's a little adult werewolf woman, like she'll have some more hair. Like, we don't know.
For me, the gross
Right.
part was not the tail. I can hang with the tail. That's fine. For some reason, you know that paw, like the part of the paw, what is a paw extremity called?
Oh, the dew claw,
A claw?
the dew claw,
Yeah,
Do
the
claw.
little
the little
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
That one. Coming out right here.
Oh, yeah.
Hate that. Hated that.
Yep. Yep.
That's called
Oh,
a
yeah.
claw?
I get that.
Sorry, a dewclaw?
I think that's what they call it, right?
Sure. That freaked me out.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, any extra thing that's growing out of me, I'm like, no, thank
Yeah.
you.
No thanks.
And
One of the
it
best
just-
lines in the movie, though, is when Ginger first starts like discovering hair growing on her chest, and she's like trying to like shave it off in the bathroom, and she's like, I wrote it down here. I can't have a hairy chest, B. That's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and
so
then like later, you know, the nurse is like, she's like describing her symptoms, and she's like, you know, hair's popping up in like weird places, and the nurse is like, yeah, that's normal. Like,
Yeah, that's part of getting your period, sister.
No, you guys
Ugh.
literally, I suggest you go watch this thing again with the nurse. She literally was talking for straight 5 minutes, and she's just like, it's the worst time of your life, and that's just being a woman, and welcome to the next 30 years. Just this whole like matter of fact, and this whole time, she's just, her look on her face is just like, what the fuck? I don't know if you catch this, if any of you remember seeing this, but she leaves the nurse's room, and the nurse is like being all whatever, and the panties are sitting on the table or on the floor or something, just covered in blood. And like, sure, if you're a nurse, you're used to that, but this shit is like covered in blood, and the nurse is like, whatever, okay, next one. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
One of my
Moving on.
favorite things with that is the mom, Mimi Rogers' character, who then finds
Yes.
those panties. And what does a mom do? As every great mom should. takes them and just takes some OxyClean to them in the laundry room. We got to talk
Can we
about
talk
the
about
parents in
it
this
for a sec?
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Mimi Rogers is
incredible.
she brings so much of the comedy in this
Oh.
movie. Like she is trying so hard to be the cool mom to the point where she's like, I'm gonna cover up your murders. I'm gonna burn the house down. Like we're gonna be okay. All right.
We're gonna
Like-
figure this out.
She's like,
Yeah.
forget dad. Dad wouldn't get it. We'll start fresh. It'll be so fun, girl time.
Yeah.
I thought, because I had
It's
never
nuts.
seen this before, that it was going to be like revealed that Mimi Rogers was also a werewolf, and it's like a thing that's been passed
Like a-
down on top of her getting bit by a werewolf. It doesn't go that route.
You think it's
I
gonna be a Teen
much
Wolf
funnier
reveal,
that
don't
she was
you?
just a mom that was going to cover up the murders that her daughter committed.
She's gonna
Yeah.
do
With her
anything
pathetic,
for her
with her
little...
pathetic husband that just sits there during supper, doesn't say anything the entire time.
Doesn't do a damn thing. That is just, and it's just so funny because it's like they could have just like not had a dad character, but that the fact of them like being like, you know what, we're gonna have the dad, and he's just not gonna do anything. I'm like, that's just so funny. And also, arguably, I think it goes a little deeper too, as like when you're a teenage girl and you're going through having your period, the last person I even want to look at is my dad because I am so embarrassed. I don't want him to know anything is going on with me at all. So like, I don't know if that was also just like a purposeful thing to make him feel very like ancillary and very just like he's not there.
Emma, great point. Fantastic point, because so true, and I can probably say that's for a lot of young women, is you basically you don't forget about your dad, but as far as like that periods and thinking about like talking to your dad about anything surrounding boys, periods, maturing,
Oh, I'm
transformation.
like, I
no,
want to throw up. I want to
you basically are like, hey dad, school was great for 4 years, and then
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
And that is a perfect thing to observe, Emma, because it's like, duh, that's why the dad character doesn't have any lines. Like they're just there.
He's not relatable. We can't relate
And
to you
it's,
right
it's
now, Dad.
funny because even deeper, it could be that the dad wants to have lines and does care, but it's like a woman thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we can't see you in 4 years, dad. We're busy.
Yeah.
And we in Jennifer's body, we don't have any dad character. And
Yeah.
that
No.
could be fall right in line with that too.
True. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons is just holding down the dad talks in that movie with his hook hand.
Love him.
Number one low shoulder fangirl, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Behind me, that is.
Yeah, behind. She loves low shoulder. What did we call it? We kept calling them cold shoulder on accident in our podcast. Like, oh no, it's not cold shoulder, it's low shoulder.
Kind of a cool band name.
Hey,
Yeah. I think either one works, honestly. Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, cold shoulder's better than low shoulder.
Right?
Like, who names their band after a road sign?
I didn't even know at first.
Those
what
losers
that-
in that movie.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You're right. They don't deserve to be cool.
No.
I didn't even put that together. There's my brain for you.
It's okay, Allie. I didn't either until I literally saw a low shoulder sign like somewhere.
Oh,
I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
that's like when I went by Silver Springs,
Mhm.
in Arizona with my mom, and I was like, "Look, mom, they named a street or a road after the Fleetwood Mac song."
Yeah, we also
Hey,
don't have a lot of low shoulders here in San Diego, so you got to go like out in the
That's fair.
boonies to get
Mm.
some
I
of
feel
those.
like you guys in the Dakotas would definitely have some kind of
Some
Oh,
low
yeah.
shoulders.
Yeah.
we
You
got a
drive
lot
out
of
into the
low shoulder.
countryside and you see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
Where is Ginger Snap supposed to take place? Do we ever learn? Just Middle America?
So it's in like Bailey Downs is like technically like the town. And I think we talked about Orphan Black a little bit too from the director, and I think like Orphan Black also takes place in this like fictional town, but I don't know exactly like where it's supposed to be, but I know it was filmed in Toronto.
Yeah, I think
If
it's
that
supposed to be
tells
like
you
a suburb of Toronto.
Yeah.
Just like
Very
Like
anywhere.
every town Canada outside of the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah. It's Haddonfield, Canada.
Yeah, literally. Wait, can I bring up one little small thing that you guys are going to be like, oh my gosh, Emma, what? Okay. I also loved Ginger Snaps extra because it gave love to my high school sport, which is field hockey. And
Hell yeah.
Allie's like, why are you rolling your eyes? Just because you didn't play field hockey. I'm sorry.
Can I be
No,
honest?
the
I didn't
funny
know
thing
what
is she
sport they
said
were
that.
playing.
It's okay. It's not a very,
See?
it's not a
I
very
didn't know.
wide
Like
sport.
I knew, like it's obviously something people play, but I'm like, what
It
is
was
the
a
name
club
of the
team at my
sport?
high school. So not every school has it. But I was
No.
like, when I first, that was the first thing I clocked, and I said, even if this is the shittiest movie ever, I'm still gonna love it for that specific reason.
Oh yeah.
I'm so happy for your representation.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I always get mine, you guys, so it's fine. I was a cheerleader. That's what's up.
Hey,
You
yeah.
gotta wait for the next movie for that one. Yeah.
I know, right? But something that stuck with me, just talking about where it's located, is going back to what you were saying a little bit, Sam, is the like gradient, the filter, the town itself, like the look of the film really sets you in a mood, right? It sets you into this like this town with them. It's this gritty fall vibe, and it made it feel like it was not a 2000s film, like early, like I don't know, almost a early 90s 80s film.
90s,
Just
yeah.
it made it
Yeah.
feel older to me, and I'm like, that
Yeah.
is what I'm looking for. I'm into this look and feel. It's nostalgia. I think you said that earlier. One of you said that earlier, nostalgia.
Hmm.
Can I, like, are we just in a time, all of us? Because, like, I think we can all assume we're, like, all relatively in the same age, but, like, I just feel like, and we said this at the top of the episode, but I just feel like we are in such a great time for horror. Not only for, like, new horror, but, like, we really came up in, like, a prime time era that, like, we were, becoming adults and then, like, seeing these films that really had like impacts on us. And like I need to ask like my parents if they feel the same way about like movies from like the 70s and 80s, but like I just feel like this movie mixed with Jennifer's Body that we're going to see soon, like, or that we're going to talk about soon, and just like so many others that came out in like the 90s and 2000s, like how freaking lucky are we, like, that
Oh,
those came
yeah.
out when we were
Yeah.
like young.
Me and Sam
So-
talk about this all the time about gateway horror that we grew up with, and like
Yeah.
how much of it we had in the early 2000s, late 90s. Like there was just so much of it that we were
Ugh.
exposed to that then led to us being able to watch stuff like Ginger Snaps and Jennifer's Body. Like it's just
Yeah.
I think we live in, this is probably just us talking because we're all roughly in the same age of like, we lived in the best age of horror and continue to do that. We're like at the
Yeah.
perfect age to enjoy all this stuff.
And we're like, we lived in the time where you could still physically go and like rent like copies of films, and you just went and you like were browsing through the horror section, and you were really like picking your movie based on like what was written on the back of the cover and what the cover looked like. Like that, I know I
Yeah.
did that like a ton. That's actually how I first came to love Leprechaun. I'm like, let me see what this little guy's all about.
Hell
And
yeah.
like, but then we're also part of this like now like digital age, and just like even films coming out like that are really done by super young directors. Like we were just talking about like, Backrooms and Obsession, and just like, I don't know, it's just so cool. I'm totally getting like off track, but I just like love that we are all kind of on the same page. I can tell that we all have like a similar love and from where it was born to like
Yeah.
now.
Going back to that and Ginger Snaps, Casey, I know you mentioned this was your first time watching it too. Sam, did you mention when the first time you watched it was?
It probably would have. I think it was right around, like, right before 2020. It was like I'd watched it pre-pandemic, but only just pre-pandemic.
So that's kind of interesting that we're all, again, relatively 30s, and it took us this long for all of us to watch it. We didn't watch it
Yeah.
growing. Maybe we were all a little too young because it is on the heavier side. Because if it's 2001 and I'm saying to my kid, go see Ginger Snaps or go see Scream, I'm probably, if I had to pick, I'm going to let them see Scream.
Yeah.
But
Right.
if it's 2001 and I'm talking to little Allie, I'm like, girl, you're like 10. No.
Yeah.
Right.
But, so I'm wondering or it's curious to me how we're all in our 30s and it just now is touching us, Ginger Snaps.
Yeah.
But also what I will say is I hadn't sat down and watched Jennifer's Body in full in like
I was gonna
20
say
years.
that. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there's like a correlation. Maybe we're appreciating high school horror now that we're so far removed from it. Maybe we couldn't appreciate it at that time.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that there's something there where, like, you know, and I mean, when you're a teenager getting into horror, and maybe this is different for girls, but like for guys, it's kind of like you can't show that you were scared by a horror movie. You can't show that you were like affected by it, right? Like you know, I was the sissy that watched through my fingers or was like behind a blanket like this the entire way through
That's
any
so
movie that one of my Oh, I'm still that way sometimes, very much. Like Casey will attest, like I was a mess next to him in Obsession. I was just like trying to crawl into my seat, just like I kept going like no, 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 no.
Oh, no, you're like, no, 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 no. Well, Nikki's
Yeah.
doing it.
And
Just
so
really
yeah,
freaking everyone out.
yeah, 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 probably. I mean,
But that
I
wait,
feel
on
like
on the flip side, we're young women in the theater being like, oh no, like mind you, I'm like, show me more guts, but I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
right.
it's
Yeah.
funny
Yeah.
the dynamic we're taught this dynamic where the men are supposed to be like, I'm strong and like this isn't scary, and we're supposed to be like, hide my eyes, you know why? Meanwhile,
Yeah.
we're 20 years later out of high school, and like, you know, we can all enjoy it. It's funny to the experience in high school and then removed from it and observing it. I think in
Yeah.
my brain, we just weren't ready for it, like our brains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's like so cool now too that we like I could probably speak for all of us. We're like there are people who think even to this day, honestly, but probably more when we were younger and like just being exposed to horror when we were like young teenagers and like young adults that like it was almost a little bit taboo if you were like into horror. It's like, oh, that means you're
Hmm.
weird or you're like an outsider or like, oh, like how could you watch that stuff? Like you're a
Hmm.
freaking monster. And it's like, okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, you know, and I love that nowadays it's so much more like it feels so much more like widely accepted. And it's like you can still be all of these different facets of yourself and love horror. And like maybe you are a weirdo. And like that's fucking cool. Sorry, can I
Hmm.
cuss on this podcast?
Oh,
Because
absolutely. Have you heard me?
like I just but like, you know, it's just so like cool and I think like horror is having such a resurgence right now or it's in a I wouldn't even say resurgence, but it's in like a good cycle where like even people that don't like horror are going out and seeing horror films like in the theater because they're hearing about people talking about it and like people that are their friends that like horror. Like I've had several friends that want to go see Obsession, and that's actually who some of those are who I went and saw it with on Sunday because like they're like, oh yeah, like I've heard that movie's like so good, and I'm like, I will go with you for a third time. I want to go, you know.
It's
So
almost
yeah,
like it's becoming it's not popular if you don't see, like, if you want to be cool, you have to go see it. It's almost
yeah.
becoming popular now,
Yeah.
horror, you
Yeah.
know?
And look at us guys, and we all have horror podcasts here. Like,
Oh my
how cool are
God.
we?
Yeah.
We're
Well,
ahead of the
and
curve.
that's kind of the funny thing is, yeah, like when I was in high school, like watching horror movies was not cool. Like it was something me and my loser friends did. Like,
No,
you
same.
know, I mean,
Yeah.
we were
It was
like,
it was what the loser
yeah,
friends did instead of going to the football or basketball game was you'd go sit and watch 4 Friday the 13th movies together and it's like
Yes, yes.
yeah.
in someone's basement on a grungy little TV.
And
Oh yeah, like
as the girl, if I'm with my friends and everyone's like, what movie should we watch? And I'm like, oh, like, can we go and watch like Final Destination or can we watch, you
yeah.
know, what have you? It's just like, really, Emma? Like, I don't know, I'm gonna be too scared. And it's like, well, okay, but like, what if we gave it a chance? Like, you
Why
know?
not, like, let's not sleep at Allie's house. She's gonna make us watch House of a Thousand Corpses again.
Yes.
Allie, I wish I was friends with you when we were young because I would have been like, I'm absolutely staying over. And my dad would have been like, yep, Emma can stay over. That sounds great. You guys have fun.
I think that we're all in a spot where we Ginger Snaps, yeah, we just watched it for Sam, I'm counting you as just watched it. 6 years ago,
Yeah.
it's just pretty
Yeah.
much. And we just watched it, and it's making us nostalgic for a time that we remembered. Even though we don't like remember the movie,
Yeah.
we remember the time that it makes us feel like exploring again. You know, it's that time
Yeah.
that we're all yearning for.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like I've said this on the podcast before, but my favorite Halloween I've ever had was the year that I think I just realized I was too old to trick or treat. And it
Ooh.
started off like terrible because I'm like, this
like,
is my favorite thing ever. Why would I not do it this year? But none of my friends were. And so I was like, it's weird for me to do this. But I had a friend who was like, well, we're just going to be watching movies. Didn't specify what. I was not a horror like kid. I mean, I read like Goosebumps and I loved like Ghostbusters and stuff. I'd never seen a rated R movie. I was in like 6th grade.
yeah.
And he was like, we're doing horror movies on Halloween. And I went over to his place and he had like Freddy versus Jason and Leprechaun Back to the Hood, which I love that movie. But like as a first time, like as someone who'd never seen a rated R movie, like I laugh through that now. I was fucking terrified.
Oh,
you
I'm
guys.
sure.
Like, Leprechaun Back to the Hood scared me worse than Freddy versus Jason, which is insane.
Yeah.
But
I have arguably been scared of Warwick Davis as the Leprechaun. I only like kind of just got over it when we started doing it. We've done 3 now? 2? 3? We've done 3. We do it every year for St. Patrick's Day. We do like the next one. So we just did Vegas.
I love that.
But like it's bringing
Oh
me
God!
back.
So you're doing space this March?
Oh, we're so excited. We're so excited.
If you do have guests by that time,
Oh my God. You know what?
We would love
Let's
to
just-
join you.
Let's just plan to have you guys on.
You're
We'll
on.
just
Okay.
we will just make it happen. We're gonna have you guys on for Leprechaun in Space. I'm so excited.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
That's like
I
my
love
favorite.
those movies.
That's one of my favorite franchises.
Yeah.
Yep, it's so good. It's terrible, but in the best kind of
In the
way.
best
Like
way.
I
In the-
just
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was the same way as you, Sam. Like, I was constantly getting scared of stuff that I laugh about now or just have fun watching. Like The Nun in Nightmare on Elm Street 4 used to terrify me, like,
Oh my God.
in middle school when we watched those.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like this movie just perfectly encapsulates that vibe. Like, I cannot wait to watch this again around Halloween. Like, this movie just oozes Halloween vibes the
It's a
entire
pumpkin
time.
carving movie.
This is a
It's
pumpkin,
pumpkin
carving
carving
movie.
movie.
Yes.
Oh
Mhm.
wow,
Yes.
that is a perfect description. Okay, so I put it in my notes. I said, okay, add this movie to my list of I need to be here on Halloween. Okay, so now it's this, and then I just added a new one too. Emma, what did we just watch? And I added it. Oh my gosh,
For
I can't
Halloween.
remember. Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously there's Halloween Town and Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
The Street Parade and Trick or Treat. Pretty much anything from Donnie
Have you
Darko.
watched Cobweb?
Yeah.
Cobweb? No.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Cobweb is a good Halloween one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Newer one, right?
hmm
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Cobweb.
newer. Yeah, like from the last. I think it's from like 2 or 3 years ago. or
23
something.
maybe 2023
Okay.
22 something like that.
Oh my
I saw it on like Shudder or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these, and Casper, the party
Oh,
scene in Casper.
Yes.
So adding it to my list of pumpkin carving movies. I'm naming it that now too. Love that. That's
And if
perfect.
you guys happen to be in San Diego in October, we will invite you over for a pumpkin carving party, and we will watch.
Oh hell yeah!
We will watch all of these films.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing.
Speaking of watching movies, has anyone watched, because there is a sequel and a prequel to Ginger Snaps?
No.
I've not watched either. No.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
hear about that though. I didn't know, and I heard about that because I was watching like a little kind of like snippet documentary type of thing on this film, and I was like, oh my God, now I'm a little bit intrigued to watch both. They're probably not going to touch Ginger Snaps like at all in terms of like how good it is, but yeah. Did you watch
Well,
it?
Speaking about that, before we get that, can we talk about the ending a little bit?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Ginger
We
Snaps?
probably should cover the ending
Yeah.
of Ginger Snaps. Yeah.
Just for kind of like you guys were mentioning, and most movies, it's the third act. It feels like a completely different movie almost to me than the rest of it.
It's like a home invasion thriller with a werewolf.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's pretty insane. It turns pretty like almost all of its comedy off at a certain point for me, and just gets really sad. And it
Yeah.
starts to
Yeah.
be about like sisters. She's literally watching her sister die, and like she's okay. Who else thought that the werewolf looked just like the monster at the end of The Substance, whatever they called it?
Oh yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. Monstro Elisa Sue
Mon-
or whatever.
Yes. So she's looking at that on the floor of this room, and she's like, "Oh my God!" And we're seeing her look at pictures of her sister and all these memories they have together, and then they have this beautiful ending shot of her sister dying in her arms, and you pull out, and they're between these two beds, and it's just framed by these very early aughts beaded curtains, and we pull out, and she just dies. And I'm like, so beautiful. It's the most beautiful ending to a movie. It's like embodies this beautiful relationship, and it shows like the how young they were, and they were just girls. Like, it ends with these beaded curtains. I don't know how to explain it except for beaded curtains. Emma, you get it.
Yeah.
I love a good beaded curtain. I also think like that's such a good point to it. Also, I think it brings everybody back down to earth a little bit of like what you just said, Als. They are just girls, like at the end of the day. And it's like, you know, and also sisters. Yeah. So there's also that like powerful dynamic. And it's just, it hits you in the heart because you're like, yeah, you know, there's some werewolf transformation happening here, of course. Like, that's a huge part of the film. But at the end of the day, it's like, they're still just like these young women that were going through this together, and like sisters also. So there's also like a deeper tie there. And it's like, you could arguably say that about like, you know, when you talk about like a girl having a period, or like, it's like at the end of the day, it's like, we're still just women. Like, and this is just a thing that we go through. And like, you know, unfortunately, this had like a very sad ending to it. I kind of wish she could have just like galloped into the night, but you know,
well,
that's okay.
Kind of just likening it to Megan's body, Jennifer's body again
She
too.
was Megan's body.
I do. I'm going to say that a lot when we talk about that movie too, but just this movie, both of these funny movies made me at the end really sad because of how the relationships end. Like, again, I don't have a sister, but if I was with Emma, it'd be like losing a sister. And in Jennifer's body, they're not sisters, but they're best friends. It's just these two movies are at the end of the day about these very unique and sensitive close relationships, and anybody can relate to that. Like, you can relate to that beyond it being a horror movie, and it just makes me so sad thinking about these girls and their stories, because yes, it's funny, it's horror, but it is a powerful story.
Yeah,
it's relatable.
Absolutely. I mean, I think too, like with movies like this, especially werewolf movies, like, you don't get happy endings with these movies. No. It always ends with the werewolf dying. Like, that's just, but I've heard people be like, I love Ginger Snaps right up until the ending. I think there should have been some kind of catharsis. And I can't necessarily argue with that. Like, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I get that. I think the gut punch of this movie is that it refuses to give you any of that catharsis. It gives you nothing. Like, you are just stuck in the sadness. It reminds me a little bit of a Cronenberg's The Fly, like, where like if you played this in a theater, like, people would be absolutely silent walking out because it's just a tragic ending. You know, it's not a feel-good movie at all.
Sam, you just named one of my all-time favorite films. And
it's so good, right?
Jeff Goldblum is my favorite actor. I mean, for obvious reasons. But no, I totally agree with you. And I think it's also too just like to your point, like, there could have been maybe like a happier ending. Because like, I don't know if you guys like really caught this, but it's like this movie isn't really about a curse as much as it is about like an infection, right? Kind of, where it's like, it's a little bit more like, okay, an infection infers that there could be a cure, right? Like, there could be something out there. So in my mind, I was almost like hoping like, oh, maybe she is going to like get out of this somehow. And like, maybe there is like some sort of cure that's going to make it like be a happy ending. But like, to your point, Sam, it's like, no, they're not going to give that to us. And it's okay that they didn't give that to us, because that just added to that emotional tie to the movie, you know?
The movie teases that happy ending, though, which I love, is because Sam and Bee make this like wolfsbane concoction to cure them, and they cure Jason early on after he pisses blood, which is hilarious. They cure him. We never see him afterwards. I love that the movie just ditches that guy. They're like, okay, well, the cure works. See ya. Get out of here. And the movie teases at the end that
further ties lycanthropy to puberty, because when he becomes a werewolf, his face gets acne all over. Like, it's the male equivalent is, oh no, you have a few zits on your face.
But at the end, Ginger gets stabbed with something, and it's while Bee is holding the the cure, but we find out she doesn't actually use it on her. And it's like, oh, so
Yeah.
no, we don't get that happy ending. It's just you get the sad ending. But it might, I don't know if the sequel, how much the sequel retcons any of this. I don't know if it does. I don't think so. I know Catherine Isabel and Emily Perkins are both in the sequels and the prequel, but I don't think they bring Ginger back to life.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
From
that,
what I've
that doesn't
kind
happen,
of
I
seen
don't
on
want to
them.
see it.
The prequel I know is like in like colonial times or something like that.
Oh yeah. It's like 1800s, right?
Yeah.
And it's called Ginger Snaps Back, the beginning.
The beginning. Of course it has to have the beginning.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Also, I must say, I must point out, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the mom's earrings. When they're in the car, there are these massive pumpkin earrings, and if I don't get my hands on them right now,
I was literally telling my wife she needs to
Immediately.
get Mimi Rogers' sweater, Halloween sweater that she was wearing in that scene.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Love it.
Ginger Snaps has multiple Carrie references. So, of course, if you're going to do a horror movie about a teenage girl going through puberty, you got to reference Carrie, which includes the picture of Ginger kind of sprawled out on the white picket fence, like in Carrie. Also, Catherine Isabel would go on to be in the Carrie TV movie the following year.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know
Oh
that.
God, did she played the bully in that, right?
Yeah, she's not.
Yeah.
She's not Carrie.
Yeah.
She's one of the
she's
bullies.
Chris, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
No,
not
no.
a very good movie, but like
No, it's
yeah,
not. It's
worth
better than the
watching.
2013 one or whatever.
That's
I
a,
agree.
that's a cool connection, though. Like, I
Yeah.
always wonder if actors, when they are on set after they've done something that's sort of related to the next thing that they've done or what have you, if they like ever bring that up. Like, I just would love to be like a fly on the wall, you know, in like
Yeah.
some people's conversations. Because I feel like if I was like an actor, I think I'd be bringing up shit all the time. I'd be like, oh, this one time Jeff Goldblum stood on this step over here, and now I'm in this show that has nothing to do with him, but like, you know.
Right.
For instance, did you know Catherine Isabel was in Snow Day, which basically means she was in the Polar Express?
She
Allie
certainly was in Snow Day.
Yep.
Allie would be remiss if she did not bring up Polar Express. I don't know if you guys have caught that in any of our episodes, but that is a through line that Allie tries to relate.
Every
Polar
time.
Top 5 Christmas movie of all time, Polar Express.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. That's amazing.
The producer will say that
Sometimes
Yes,
you have
I
to
often
stretch
stretch.
to really get it. Yeah.
the producer
You got
will
it in.
say
You
Polar
got it in.
Express is yes, thank you. And that was off on a whim. I didn't even plan that one. Sometimes I have to do like research for an hour to see how I can connect that degree. But yes, so
Amazing.
this is now it's also a Christmas movie.
There you go.
A
Hell
plus
yeah.
B equals this is a Christmas movie now.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I love it. We need more Christmas horror movies.
Absolutely.
So Ginger Snaps being a
Yeah.
Christmas movie is great. Yeah.
Why not? Let's get to our final ratings. How many werewolf teeth are we giving this out of 5?
This gets the full 5 for me. I looked on my letterbox. I had this at 4. I don't know what I was thinking because I watched it and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is my favorite werewolf movie like ever.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's another werewolf movie that I like. There are ones I love, like we've talked American Werewolf in London, Silver Bullet. Like I even like the Joe Johnston Wolfman from like 2010. I think that movie rules. But this one just, I don't know, it's head and shoulders above the rest for me. So yeah, perfect 5 out of 5 for me. How about you two?
I'm gonna go last if I may.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna go 4.5, I think. It takes a lot for me to do like a full 5, but I will say, again, having just started watching this film in the last, few months, I want to watch it a few more times, and especially during Halloween this year, and I guarantee I would change that rating to 5. And you could just have me on in a future episode doing a small little cameo where I say, hey, I've changed my score to 5 out of 5 werewolf teeth. But right now I'm going to stick with a 4.5.
Hell yeah.
Allie, I'll let you go last because I'm just going to piggyback off what Emma said. I'm going to go 4.5 just because this was a first time watch, and I feel like I will probably watch it again in October, and it might bump up to that full 5 stars.
Casey and I will both be like, we're ready to go now.
That's it. Yep.
Well, I'm gonna bring up the rear, and I'm going 3 because
Okay.
this I am with you, Casey, in that I am not afraid to vocalize if something is not my favorite. I love this movie for what it was and what it was, symbolizing, and I thought it was funny as fuck.
I'm crying, Allie.
Because you love me so much, or what?
No, I'm just kidding. Because of 4 rating. No, I'm just kidding.
You should be used to this by now. But so maybe I need to warm up to it more. I love the story and what it's talking about and the subject matter and that it's funny, and I need to be at that fucking Halloween party. Yeah. But for now, it's a cool 3 for me.
Cool.
All right.
Cool. A cool
let's
3.
see if our next movie gets the full 5-star ratings from our crew here as we talk about Jennifer's Body from September 18th, 2009, directed by Karen Kusama, director of The Invitation, written by Diablo Cody, who did Juno right before this, and of course was this last year's Lisa Frankenstein? 2 years ago? Last year. 2 years ago. Represent.
Oh. Sam, I love that.
Yeah. Studio House Designs. They're fantastic. Yeah. I loved Lisa Frankenstein.
You didn't rock a Jennifer's Body shirt for this?
I actually don't own a Jennifer's Body shirt.
Are you
a
real fan of Jennifer's Body if you don't own a Jennifer's Body shirt?
So I bought a Jennifer's Body shirt like a long time ago, but it was from like an independent seller. And it got so faded that you couldn't even see the design on it anymore. So it's not with me anymore. Yeah, it was, yeah. But no, I mean, spoiler alert, I love this movie so much.
Who do I? And did you? Okay, I just connected this. Do you think that Diablo Cody put? I keep forgetting her name. Not Emily Perkins. Do you think she put Emily Perkins in Juno because of Ginger Snaps?
Oh, 100%. She had to have, right? Because she's such a horror nerd. Like, you listen to her in interviews, and she's just always going on about.
Guys, sorry, I had to leave momentarily.
Costume change.
I love it. We're all doing a costume change except for Casey. His costume change was he just turned his camera off.
He's now a ghost.
I might be doing a costume change right now. You just won't know.
I'm going to take this off now because it's very warm in my office, but I just needed everyone to see. And
yes.
Do you love
For
it?
our audio listeners,
I love it.
Emma is rocking the pink and red hearts. Megan Fox. Jennifer.
Yes. Oh my God.
Wait, Casey, will you turn your camera on just momentarily so I can take like a photo of all of us just like recording this together? Because like this is so cute.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Yay! I love it.
Amazing.
I'm taking it off now, guys. I'm hot.
Too hot.
I'm going to put my camera back on for 1 second. Because I am wearing my 303 inspired, which is the most 2008 shirt I have in my closet.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Speaking of Jennifer's Body, the only band that's missing on this soundtrack is 303.
Is 303. It should have had 303.
Truly.
So I actually forgot about how good the soundtrack is until we started covering the this movie for our episode a couple weeks ago, and Emma started singing. Was it Nelly? No.
Yes.
Akon.
No, it was Akon.
Yeah, I Want to Love You.
I started off our episode because, like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I start off a lot of our episodes with me just singing whatever the main song was because I just like love to sing. And I was like, I want to love you. And she was like, why are we doing it? And I'm like, hello, Akon.
Yeah.
During the, let's burn this house down, candle, Amazon Prime's date setup scenario.
The Colin Gray scene. Oh my God, poor Colin. Poor baby goth Colin.
So
R.I.P. Colin. All right, well, I'm going to get into the cast, and then Sam, you can go ahead and give us the plot synopsis for J-Bod.
Okay.
The movie stars Megan Fox as Jennifer, Amanda Seyfried as Needy, Johnny Simmons as Chip, Kyle Gallner as Colin, and then Adam Brody as Nikolai Wolf, the lead singer of Low Shoulder. Sam, what is Jennifer's Body?
Well, it's about two friends, Needy and Jennifer, and they have sandbox love and a pretty toxic relationship. And when a douchey indie rock group sacrifices Jennifer to Satan to be rich and awesome, like that dude from Maroon 5, Jennifer begins eating boys, much to the dismay of Needy, who clearly wants Jennifer to be eating her. I went a little blue there, sorry.
No, I like that. Oh,
But
no.
This is a totally lesbian gay film.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love it for that, and you're just gonna hear a lot of Diablo Codyisms from me for the next however long we're talking about this, because I probably know this. I almost didn't even need to watch this leading up. I did watch it twice, once with commentary and once without, because I do just genuinely love this movie. I have it like practically memorized front to back. This movie opens up with the Fallout Boy poster and fucking Tony Little doing his infomercial. And I'm just like,
Good.
it takes me right back to childhood, right back to like that like, I don't know. No one puts Tony Little in their movies anymore, and it's a tragedy.
It really is.
Tony Little Gazelle? Yes.
Yeah, right? You
Yeah.
couldn't get away from those things in the aughts. Like,
No, we probably had 3 in my garage. Never
I've
used
got
it.
one right over here. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm on one right now.
I'm actually.
We're
Everybody has walking pads. We, back in 2009, used the Tony Little exercise
Yeah.
machines.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, then you don't know. And I'm sorry you can't be in our club.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
But talking
it's
about
not
a
even the
timestamp.
Yeah.
right. And it's
Yeah.
not even the
Totally.
only Tony Little reference in a Diablo Cody movie, because J.K. Simmons talks about buying one of those, how his wife bought one of those Tony Little gazelles in Juno.
Yup.
And then he goes,
So
I don't know, there's something about that guy. He's not quite right.
I
That's-
love it.
yeah, small things that Diablo Cody was like, I'm gonna put this in here. And I love her for that, because like we need more of that. I love catching those little things because, like, no offense, I'm gonna take it down a notch here, but like if you're making movies, like what's the freaking point if you're not having fun? You know?
Oh
And you're
God,
not,
yeah.
like putting little things in there that you are chuckling at, even if not everybody gets it. Like it's just like that's just so fun to me.
Well, I have
Yeah.
a question for you guys before we get into the plot more. Do you think that it's helpful or hurtful that this movie is such a timestamp? And like we have to come at it from a not biased perspective, because we're fully biased. This is nostalgia for us because it came out for when we were like in high school. So we were going through what Needy and Jennifer were going through, and like kind of we could relate on that level. But specifically, I was a senior in high school when this came out, so I was, and like they were talking about, I don't know, like Google Maps, like Wikipedia, all the stuff they're talking, their jargon, their lexicon, all their stuff they're pulling from their dictionary was my dictionary, you know?
Yeah.
So everything they're saying is relatable, which is why we love it. But do you think the scary Gen Zers love it? Like, might not be able to relate to all of the really unique, timely things?
Well, and I mean, there are some, dude, come on. What are we doing?
Horace.
What are we doing? Your tail's going everywhere, buddy.
And I'm not to say
There's-
that Gen Zers are scary. They just have a different viewpoint and might not understand, even older generations might not understand the very, very unique subject matter that's brought up in this film.
Yeah, I 100% think that there's going to be a generation gap with Gen Z on this. Most of which is like the language used. I mean, there are some ableist slurs throughout this that kind of make me cringe now. Like, I'm like, you know, I mean, that's how, unfortunately, we were talking back in, well, I was trying not to, but like also, I mean, you know, those words were just thrown around a lot more casually back then. And so for better or worse, mostly for worse, they capture that in this movie. But like there's stuff in this movie that there are people that go like, teenagers didn't talk like that. And I'm like, the hell they didn't. Like, we were always saying weird off the wall shit. Like one of the lines that makes me laugh is when like Needy is talking about Through the Trees being a terrible song, and Jennifer's just like, yeah, it's really poorly produced. Where's the bass in the mix? And I'm just like, oh my God, I had like music snob friends that used to say things like that almost verbatim.
Yeah.
Like
calling people lime green Jell-O was a very 2009 thing.
Even
oh God,
salty
I use
morsel.
that all the time still.
Yeah, like the lime green gel, the salty morsel, like it.
Yeah.
Everything is so 2000 like that coded. But then looking back to Ginger Snaps, there's a lot of stuff that I probably couldn't access that they reference because it's just missed me by 10 years, just like Jennifer's Body might have missed another generation by 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love
I
both.
think also
Same
too.
thing. We can catch. We love Jennifer's Body more, I think, because we can just relate to it more. We can, the all of the jargon that's flying around, the 9/11 shots, and remember that 9/11.
Oh God.
That I didn't realize how close to 9/11 that was. Like 7 years, not that far removed.
Yeah.
No.
It was fresh. It was pretty fresh.
Diablo Cody and Karen Kusama actually bring that up in their commentary, which I believe was recorded like in 2009, where like the line comes up and Diablo Cody goes, I'm still not sure if it was too soon to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah.
Also, even in 2007, we were making those jokes, even though it was only 6, 7, 8 years from that happening. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that kind of wild to think about that we was doing that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to throw him under the bus, but my partner, he he made a joke after our latest watch of Jennifer's Body when we were prepping for the podcast, and he was like, "Oh no, still too soon? Like, I don't know." I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, it's funny because I love you, but like, it's just, and going back to what we were saying about like teenage jargon back then and all of that, I think there's also a level of like when you were that young, you kind of just like said shit because you were like either trying to be cool or just like you didn't have a filter, or like you're still just trying to kind of like learn who you are. So like the things you respond to, like you're just trying to figure out like, oh, like who am I as a person that I respond to like XYZ? Or like now as we're like in our 30s, we can all like look at this and be like, oh, this is so funny because we're so much more confident maybe now in like who we are as people that like we know exactly what we would say. But like back as a teenager, we totally were like that. Like you just said stuff sometimes and you would like say something and sometimes you'd like be horrified at what you said and then think about it like all weekend long and be like, oh my God, is everyone thinking about how I just said like XYZ? And that's like the feeling that a lot of the dialogue has in this movie. And like, that's why I love it. It feels so authentic to like just being a teenager.
Yeah, you're oh my God, I remember this pit-inducing feeling of whatever they're going through right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like because I mean, there was a time where it was like edgy comedy was the thing, you know, and I think every generation has their own version of that.
This is 2 years after Superbad. Superbad's 07.
Oh yeah.
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 Wow.
And I feel like that's kind of like our generation's high school generation that we grew up in. Like that was the high school movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like I think at the time as a teenager, like you weren't thinking about, I mean, especially growing up in like a smaller town, like I grew up in a very small town in very conservative Iowa, dude, you gotta stop. And like, you didn't think about the hurt that words could have because like
sure
you were around a lot of people that were just kind of like you know,
and you didn't know you didn't know the ripple effect or like
you just had
like we all probably just lived in like a smaller world. Like our world was just so much smaller.
Right. Like, I mean, I remember having like, having a Chinese friend, and like some of the things that I said to him in high school, I'm like, holy shit. Like, and I've texted him like in
So
recent
sorry.
years and been like, dude, I don't know what the hell like I was even thinking. And he's like, I haven't even thought about that in 20 years. You're good. Like, and I'm like, okay, like, cause he knows, like, he knew that, whatever. But I'm also like, no, I don't absolve me of this. Like,
Yeah. Like
like,
I need to apologize. Let me
yeah,
apologize.
yeah, exactly. So it just, yeah, it's one of those things where, um, when you're a teenager, you just don't think about the dumb shit you're saying. And it's,
Totally. Yeah.
yeah.
And
But you'll
it's
think
just
about it 30 years later and be like, oh no, I can't believe I
Serious.
did that.
Yeah.
it's yeah, talk about an awkward and anxious high school reunion setting. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I think that this movie, specifically Diablo Cody's writing too, is so unique, and she has such a her own tone. You can, if you're comparing Juno and this movie, you're like, oh, but she definitely, this is her writing, her tone. She just wants a word salad coming out of everybody's mouth, like the lime. She's just a lime green Jell-O. Like all these weird things that they're saying don't really mean much, but it just sounds
Yeah.
so fun when she's making the character say it. It's so much just splatter on the page. Color and words
Yeah.
on the page is Diablo Cody.
Well, and it's also kind of in the cavalier way that everybody says things too. Like, I feel like Karen Kusama really does a good job of taking that script and knowing what the tone is, because even when they're not doing like saying things like lime green gel, like Adam Brody coming out of the burning building with like a glass of whiskey and just being like, "Oh, thank God, I've been looking for you guys everywhere," taking a
Yeah.
swig and like it's so fucking funny. Like,
It's
and
the timing.
yeah, and his performance in this, like, I hesitate to heap too much praise on like the dude in the
Yeah.
female movie, right? But like his performance in this really does add something significant to this, because he's
Yeah.
playing the type of like, we can talk about the scene that this band Low Shoulder is kind of representing, and as you got older, a lot of those bands were actually pretty scuzzy people. You
Oh
had a
yeah.
lot of, especially in like the post Me Too movement,
Oh yeah.
it's like, oh, I'm not going to listen to any of these bands that I used to from this scene because they were all kind of predatory creeps.
Yeah.
And this movie's kind of prescient in that, where it knew back when we didn't. No, these guys are creeps who are going after like high school girls. And I think Adam Brody takes that nice guy image that he has from like the OC
Oh
and
yeah.
just subverts that so well in this movie. Do you know who was
He
originally going to be cast in the Adam Brody role?
Oh my god, who?
No, who?
Pete Wentz from Fallout Boy,
Oh
Whoa.
my.
which is how I
didn't
learned
I saw
about this
Pete Wentz
movie,
and
because I was a
is it
Fallout
the
Boy.
lead singer of Good Charlotte were up for the role?
Yes, Benji Madden.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's how I found out about this movie, because I was like, oh, Pete Wentz is going to be in a horror movie. I'm in.
Yeah, I
And
don't know if I love that or hate that. I feel like I.
That's two on the nose for me. That's like two.
Yeah.
I think Adam Brody was the perfect casting, and I will say, I will die on this hill, that is my favorite Adam Brody role ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He get that man an Oscar. He embodies it perfectly. I would have fallen for Nikolai too. Like, I get it.
Yep.
I just
Yep.
kept thinking the entire time, if we made Jennifer's body today, that Jack Quaid would be this character.
Oh my
Oh, yeah,
God.
100%.
Because like that is who Jack
Oh.
Quaid plays now constantly, is like, I'm the faux nice guy where I'm kind of
Mhm.
just a total dickhead asshole.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
a good recasting, I should say.
Oh my god, I'm
Yep.
like, Jack Quaid, I love him. I would so be the girl and companion and be cool with it. And wait, that's perfect. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Like, everything with that band, with Low Shoulder, is so funny.
It's
Like,
so
but
funny.
it's also terrifying. Like, the scene where Jennifer tells Needy about what happened is one of the most gut-wrenching things, while also having some of the best lines in the movie. The rich and awesome, like Maroon 5. If you're not on Letterman or some redacted soundtrack, you're never gonna make it. You know, and like and then like just the way he looks at Dirk and goes, "Then fetch me that ritual, brother." And like it's just like, what
It's like
are you
Rituals
doing?
for Dummies books that they're reading too.
Like he prints it off from like
Yeah.
It's like what is that it? Yeah, I found it online. Like
The scariest part of that scene though is getting sacrificed to the devil while someone's singing Tommy Two Tone to you. I'm like, that's that's a nightmare right there.
Truly.
But on a real note, like all of that is so true. I thought the comedic timing was so great in this film, and like you said, Sam, surrounding this big serious thing that's happening subject matter wise. She's being sacrificed, right? But it's a funny situation. They're making it funny. But if you think about it, at the end of the day, if she's actually being sacrificed, and Casey, imagine being Jennifer and you're being screamed, Janet. Wait, what is it?
Jenny, I got your number.
Yeah, and this band is screaming at you while like trying to sacrifice you. That's pretty fucking scary.
You're like,
yeah,
what the hell is going on?
It's like I mean, pardon the expression, but it's like a twist of the knife, where it's like it's
is.
already bad enough, and then they make light of it by singing that goddamn song. And I love that song. I have loved that. Like I heard that on the radio when I was like 4 years old, and I'm like, this is my song. And like this movie bastardized it. I can't listen to that song anymore without thinking of this specific scene, and it is horrifying.
And something so impactful, just kind of looking at it from like a bird's eye view, is these people are sacrificing this teenage girl to gain fame. And what Adam Brody Nikolai leaves her with is like, hey, maybe we'll write a song about you. Then it's worth it, right? But making demoralizing.
What a dickhead.
Making this girl's life about their fame is so like actually sad. Like it is a funny movie, but if you think about it, fuck, that's rough.
It's so dark, yeah.
Yeah, I like loved that this was sort of the point of it though, because they could have gone like a totally, I don't know, they could have gone a different direction and like not had Low Shoulder be like involved at all, and it could have just been almost like a Ginger Snap situation where it's like, oh, there's a local creature or something and Jennifer accidentally gets bitten and like now she's this. Like I still think it could have been effective, and like we still probably could have loved the movie, but like having Low Shoulder as just part of that plot point of like, and we all hear about this, right? It's like, oh, you signed your soul to the devil, like for fame or for power or whatever it might be. It's like, I mean, I don't want to get like conspiracy theory here, but like people like believe in like Illuminati and like all of that stuff. And so I just like love, it's so effective in this film. And then like Low Shoulder adding that sort of comedic element, but it's still like kind of scary too, because it's just like, these were just two teenage girls that wanted to go see a band, and they, thought that the band members were hot, and they thought, okay, maybe there's a chance I'll make out with one. Like, piggybacking, like fucking possessed,
Yeah,
Right.
piggybacking off of that, Emma again, looking at this movie as a whole, is Low Shoulder is basically birthing this baby, Jennifer, this little demon baby, and they say, here, little Jennifer demon baby, go off into the world. And like she didn't ask for this. They didn't give her a guidebook. Now you're possessed. Here's what you do. She's released into the world being like, fuck, I'm a demon now. What do I do?
Right.
She didn't ask for this life. So I think that's a huge difference between this and Ginger Snaps even is like Ginger Snaps is really just about transformation and a relationship between two women. This has the added element of boys did this to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because you see her get objectified by everybody in that bar before any of this even happens, right? Like, she's not able to just be a person because she is being viewed as an object. And then you get this whole, the band coming in, sacrificing her. Like, I mean, it's a sexual assault scene. Like, this is a rape revenge movie. Like, it is. And the brilliant thing though is like the way that it does it is they leave. She has no direct outlet to them to get revenge. And so she's lashing out at boys that maybe don't even deserve it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I jump in here, Sam? I'm gonna disappoint you here, my
I'm
friend.
ready to eat your soul and I'm ready to eat your soul and shit it out, Lesnicki. Let's do this.
I liked this movie more than I did the first time. I
Good.
still don't love it, and I think I have two big reasons why I don't love it. One is that it is a rape revenge movie, but Jennifer never gets that revenge, and I just find that far more interesting if that's the movie we would have gotten. Especially with the character that we set up of Jennifer. Like, she is super likable, and like it would have been fun seeing sarcastic, kind of bratty Jennifer going after these douchebag wannabe Maroon 5 guys. At least in some way. I know we get that by the end. We get Needy going after them, but I feel like
I love the end of this movie.
it's just not enough for me in the end. You know, I'm glad that they get killed, but I wish there was more
I
of
love
it.
that they get killed in the end credits because they're not even important enough to be a part of the movie. And they get killed with a montage to a second shitty song that they put out. I shouldn't say shitty. I actually love Through the Trees. But like that darling, darling, darling. That's a terrible song. I'm sorry. That sounds like a fucking Train B-side.
Because the ritual to the devil didn't work and they couldn't write good music after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an argument that I keep making about this film is not that I've ever been in this scenario, but like if I'm Jennifer, wouldn't I say she says I'm not a virgin or I am a virgin? I'm not a virgin. No, she says I am a virgin.
Yeah,
you don't
She
want me.
says
You
she
don't want me.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? I guess like if you're Jennifer, wouldn't you say I'm not a virgin? I'm used. Don't touch. Because she says I am a virgin.
Yeah.
I think it's because of what the band heard Needy say earlier, that they wouldn't believe her no matter what she said at that point. Because if your best friend is defending you, as like Needy goes up to the band and says, "Oh, she's a virgin," like
No, I know.
they would believe
Okay.
her more than Jennifer in that moment.
Yeah.
I assume.
Fair, true. But like I'm saying, I would just go in the van anyways, so it'd be a moot
Yes.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Emma knows.
Yeah, you would
And
want to go into
actually-
their super awesome van. Yeah.
Talking about the heartbreak of that too, we talked about this when we discussed the movie, Emma. There's a heartbreaking scene where Needy says a line of something about like I just watched the van drive away, like, and watching something so sad and actually real life about that is she's watching her best friend drive away in a van with strangers. And that is like a heartbreaking thing if you think about it in your real life friendships. Like if Emma watched me drive away in a van, I would come murder her for letting that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about this a little bit in our podcast, but I think it has to do a lot with, and similar to kind of what we were talking about previously in terms of just confidence. Like when you're a teenager too, like it's like even in your heart, it might not feel like it's right, but you're not thinking worst case scenario. You haven't probably been exposed to a lot of those bad worst case scenarios just yet. And like you're still an impressionable young mind and you're just like learning about like dangers in general. And yes, there's of course like stranger danger and all of that stuff, but like you're not thinking that this super popular band is gonna like do something terrible to you because they're a super popular band. They're like in the spotlight. People know about them. But like if that were me now, like I wouldn't even let Ali get near that van. Like I would be like, hell no. Like you are not going near that. I'm so sorry, men. I do not trust you. You know, but when I was like Needy's age, like who knows? Like I might have let it happen for the pure fact that I just didn't know how to like stick up for myself or for my friend as much at that time, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a real thing, you know, like this movie had me thinking about my relationships and how I treat my friendships then and now, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
Cal's making his exit. He said goodbye.
like we should talk a little bit about Megan Fox in this movie too, because I am like, to me this is her best performance easily. Like I mean, and that's not a high bar because she's in Transformers movies and that's pretty much all she was until this point. But like I think that she humanizes Jennifer in such a beautiful way, while also like totally like playing up the Regina George mean girl aspect of it, like the like her insincere line reading to Jonas where she's like, I'm crazy sorry for your profound loss,
Yeah.
fucking kills me. Like it's so funny. And but then like there are moments where, you know, she's feeling good, she's wearing off, like all of those like shifts in her demeanor and the way she like the way that she presents herself are just so beautifully calculated. And even by the very end, she's humanizing Jennifer to her dying breath, where like Needy stabs her and she goes, my tit.
Yeah.
And like it's a funny line, but it's also like, oh, she's objectifying herself.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't see it as her heart. She sees it as her boob.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what? And
Yeah.
and Needy goes, no, your heart. And that's when Jennifer smiles.
Yeah.
And it feels like Jennifer poking through for like the last time. And I find that heartbreaking.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and coming right off of Chip's death, which gets me all fucking teared up.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm like, I actually cry during this movie,
Oh,
like
yeah.
2 different times, because it's just it's so well acted. It's so like you build these relationships between the characters. Chip is a fucking sweetheart. He's a dumb boy. He's an
Yeah.
absolute dumb boy. The am I too big thing is like, oh God. Oh, Chip, what are you fucking like, come on, dude. But like, you know, he's a teenage boy, so yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, but he's also you get the feeling that he really would do anything for Needy in this movie,
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
that he genuinely cares even when he's not believing her, which, hey, he's a teenage boy in like the real world. Why would he, you know,
Why would you
our library
assume-
has an occult section, like,
Yeah.
you know.
First of
Yeah.
all, bitch in high school if they have an occult section.
Right.
Hey,
But
Carrie
I'm
had
right
an
there
occult
with-
section too, so.
Yours did?
Well, remember Carrie had like the telekinesis book
I thought
in
you
her
said-
Oh
library?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right, that's right.
So,
The town is called Devil's Kettle. They probably have an occult section.
agree.
Also, Adam Brody constantly calling it Devil's Lake.
I
Oh my
know.
God,
Oh my
obsessed.
god. So freaking
Okay, did
Devil's
you know?
Kettle.
Did
Fuck
you know
yeah,
this
you're
is a
right,
real
it is.
place? Like Devil's
Yes.
Kettle is a real
Yeah.
place in Minnesota.
So
Yeah.
Diablo Cody went to Minnesota to have her renaissance. For some reason, Minnesota was the choice. I've never been. I bet it's lovely. But so
It's
like all
a very
all
cold
movies-
but nice state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
lovely. But all of her movies are based in Minnesota for that reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I looked it up. We're only about an 8-hour drive away, Sam. So
Hey.
Ooh,
bad.
I'm gonna go throw a Bowie knife in there.
There you go.
Good. But something
Yeah.
else that you kind of talked about the bitter end where they're throwing insults at each other. One of my favorite scenes is in the pool when they're like verbally attacking each other. No
Oh God, yeah.
punches are being thrown at all, but Jennifer's floating up here in her prom dress. Needy's like covered in pool guck. Chip's probably dead at this point.
Yeah.
And she's just
But
like,
he comes back when he hears her voice.
oh yes.
Like, why does this movie do that to me?
Oh,
Why we're gonna make Sam cry. No, but I love something she says. She's like, I'm not irrelevant. I'm the goddamn snowflake queen or something. And then
Right.
he's like, yeah, 2 years ago when you were still relevant, or something about, yeah, when you didn't need laxatives to be skinny, blah blah blah. Just this
Yep.
throat. It might fall on deaf ears to boys, but those insults are just slanging.
gonna
Those would be
stop
harsh
you.
words between teenage girls.
oh yeah.
I had an equal amount of friends who were girls as I did friends who were guys. So this all land. I'm like, yeah, I've been in the middle of this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were fucking literally sitting in the middle while people are throwing insults
Yeah.
across you. You're like, oh my god, too close for comfort.
Yeah. Yeah, the dialogue is just so good, like between the characters, and it's just so even like the dialogue just between like Needy and Jennifer is so like, you know, because they've been friends since like the Sandbox era, right? So it feels like they have maybe grown apart now that they're like in the throes of being teenagers, but they still have that like tie of like, well, no one knows me better than you. Or like, well, you're like supposed to be my best friend because we've like known each other since we were young. But they still have, yeah, these like low blows and these like digs. But then it goes a level deeper than that where it's like, no matter what, they like do really love each other. And like even going through all of this, as much as they have had moments where they hate each other or they're jealous of each other, or like, you know, Nidia's like, no, fuck Jennifer. She's literally like a demon now. Like we need to get rid of her. And like she's going after the people I love now. Like there's still that love there. And it's like still so multi-layered. And I think that's like what makes it work so much. And I love when a film can be like kind of funny and have these like funny moments and these one-liners and stuff, but then it still has like so much depth to like each character. And I think like for me, that's like one of the things I like really, really love about it. And when Ali and I did this episode, like I hadn't seen Jennifer's Body in a few years. Like I definitely watched it several times, like when it came out and then just like through the last like 10 years or so. But then like watching it again, I was like, God damn it. Like I fucking love this film. Like it is just so good and it's so different. I mean, we're comparing it to Ginger Snaps a little bit here, but like, you know, but it has its differences though still. Like, and it's like, and I agree with you, Sam. I think it's like one of Megan Fox's, if not her best performance.
Yeah.
I mean, think she embodies to, you know, whether she likes it or not, Megan Fox is Jennifer, kind of. She is this sex symbol that has all of these layers. She is a human being, but we just see beauty, you know? She's embodying herself almost. And that's probably really fucked up. Like, that must be psychological.
It was really cathartic for her, though, to, like, act in this role, you know?
Well, and then you hear, it sounds like we've all listened to interviews about Jennifer's Body with the actors and the film crew and whatever. But from what I've gathered, it was a traumatizing experience for all of them because it sounds like it was a movie that just was not ready. What is the phrase? It wasn't ready for its time. The film wasn't ready.
Yeah, it was ahead of its time.
It was the Marty McFly thing. Like, oh, your kids are gonna love this.
Yeah, literally. It's like, because now, like you're saying, Emma, it took me, you know, almost 15, 20 years to sit down and love it. Sam, I wasn't like you in high school. I don't remember running to the theater. I don't remember seeing marketing for it. It was like, oh, there it was. Even though I did like horror, I think I was in the majority where my brain wasn't ready for it to accept what this commentary was about.
And I mean, the marketing did nothing for it.
Yeah, the marketing is what deterred me in 2009 from seeing it. Because I had seen Transformers by this point, and I was like, oh no, it's just hot model girl who isn't very good in Transformers doing this horror movie. Yeah. Right.
Well, and the thing is like, I mean, they've talked extensively about how the marketing screwed this movie. And I believe it because, like, I mean, like I said, I read the Junior novelization because I was a weird kid and I had the soundtrack and I knew going into it, I'm like, this is not the movie that the trailers are making it seem like. Yeah. Like, this is not going to be, oh, Amanda Seyfried and Megan Fox are making out on a bed. And like, that happens, but it's like an actual important point in the movie. It's a character moment. It's not look at this for look at this sake, you know?
There's a scene in here I'm wondering if it was added by the studio, and it's right after she kills the jock guy, I believe, and goes swimming in the lake. And I'm like, is that just there for the trailer?
Sometimes it feels like, but no, you go ahead.
We kind of talked about, okay, so great question. Emma and I, remember we did talk about this, Emma. We brought it up because it's similar to a scene in X where we get that aerial view of a woman swimming in a lake. Yep. And we were talking about it in X as kind of hinting to danger to come. And then sometimes Emma and I try to find depth when there is zero depth. It's just to look cool. So this could be just to look cool, because it does, you know, where it's upping the sex drive without providing any nudity. You're imagining Megan Fox nude, but we don't see anything.
Yeah. And that shot was in every trailer.
Oh, right.
I vividly remember that in every trailer.
my brain that's trying to make depth into it is like, okay, well, water equals rebirth. You know, she's transforming into this new monster. It's a birth, a rebirth, but it might just look cool.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
It might be
Well,
so surface level.
Yeah.
I believe in an interview that I mean, because you guys, I can't overstate how much I look into this movie and read about this movie. But like I know Kusama was very much like, we wanted it to look like she was a shark, like a predator
Yeah.
swimming through, like, you know, and I'm like, I get that from that.
Yeah.
Like, it's because you've got the heavy doom metal riff playing as she's like swimming through, and like it feels like an arrival of like this new Jennifer. It is
Yes.
very much just she is, the patriarchy has turned her into a monster at
Yeah.
this point. Like, and I think it's like an important distinction to say that, like, yes, Jennifer becomes a monster. Like, she is a monster by the end of this movie, but she is only that way because every male and female figure in her life failed her up until
Yes.
this point. And it
Look
is
at-
just, yeah.
Look at the title, Jennifer's Body. It's
Yeah.
not about Jennifer, it's about her body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's now a
Like,
vessel.
yeah, her body's just been commodified. Like, it's insane. So we do have a historic theater in Sioux Falls. It's really cool. And it played this movie about a year ago. And I finally got to see it on the big screen for the first time since 2009.
Oh,
And I brought my girlfriend, who was there that opening night and for years had been like, I just didn't care for it, you know? And I brought her and like we watched it, and it rolled credits and she's like, no, I fucking get it. Like, I totally get it now. She's like, I don't know if it's like a favorite that I would put on any time, because like the subject matter is dark, right?
yeah.
Like it is like, it can be like a traumatizing or triggering movie, but like it's also so well done in what it's doing. And I think that over the years we've seen more women as critics embracing this movie and like saying things like, no, this is a movie that actually speaks to like what this culture was like, especially at this time.
oh yeah.
And the like studio wanted to make an amateur porn site leading up to this,
Yes.
the release of this movie.
Oh my God,
Like,
I forgot
how
about
gross is that? You're making a movie about high schoolers and your idea is like, let's make an amateur porn site to like tie into this movie. Disgusting.
Yeah.
You know, like this movie was literally cut off at the knees by the patriarchy.
And
you
that's
know?
that's what makes me sad, is exactly what you're saying, because Diablo Cody and team wanted to literally make a movie that's saying what we are all saying, but they made that movie and then the studio turned it into something so different.
Yeah.
And that as a creator, that must be so frustrating. It must be like so infuriating.
Yeah.
You know, she was promised one thing and got this completely different outcome, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's only now getting the like praise and the discussion and the accolades that it like deserves. And it's so like, I definitely encourage everyone, and especially like if you guys haven't seen it, you probably have, but there's like I think it's like an entertainment interview with with Megan and with Diablo Cody, and they like talk about this film pretty in depth for like 30 minutes, and they just talk about like their experience and all these things. And Allie, I think you mentioned it at the beginning of us talking about it, but like they started off like not having a good experience at all. Like it was such a bummer because they had so much love in making it and like developing it and all of that. But like after, there was like a lot of trauma that they both held. Like even Diablo Cody said like she got so much flack for this film that like shortly after, she just like decided to dive into motherhood because she was so desperate to find like a different identity other than just like the woman that made the bomb Jennifer's body that like totally bombed, you know. And
you have to remember that Diablo Cody was a sex worker too, and she like
Yeah.
this subject matter, sex and womanhood, is a sensitive topic. So to be given this, she had success with Juno, and then with that success, they were like, "Here you go, here's money, do whatever you want." And then she did whatever she wanted, and was told no.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and then Megan Fox too in general, like we know to this day this woman is still freaking sexualized. Like even though
Hmm.
she's like she has been so forthcoming about the experiences that she has had, like she, was part of like Jennifer's Body, and there's so many other things. Like she really kind of stands up against like the patriarchy and is very much like outspoken in a lot of ways, and it's just like we still just like sexualize her, and it's like, that, like Sam, I think you said, like just cut off at the knees by the patriarchy. Like really, like the patriarchy like let this movie down, and like inherently it had a ripple effect on the people that were like involved, and it's so shitty because even now, like I'm so glad we did it on the podcast, and I'm glad that we're talking about it now on your guys' podcast too, because like it deserves to be talked about, but it also feels a
Yeah.
little too late. Like it's like a lot of damage was already done to the people involved, and like that really
Yeah.
sucks. But all we can do now is just talk about like all the great things about it. And Casey, even
Hmm.
if you didn't like it, like that's totally valid. Like not everybody's gonna like every single movie, maybe as much as like Sam, Allie, and I like all do. But like it's still important to just like have these discussions, because like I'm hoping
Hmm.
maybe 10 years from now, all of these discussions that we're having are gonna outweigh, maybe some of that negativity. It's never going to go away, but maybe it's going to outshine a little bit more like later on.
And it
Yeah.
took me, I'm right there with you. It took me rewatching Jennifer's Body maybe 5 times before we recorded Emma to really appreciate it again. I mean, it was a neither here nor there movie for me growing up, and until I sat down and analyzed it, got to watch
Yeah.
it and appreciate it, that I was like, oh shit, I think I like this movie. Because at first I was like, whatever. And
Yeah.
now I can appreciate it, which is where I think I can get to with Ginger Snaps, because just from how I appreciate Jennifer's Body now, I can understand that I like that kind of film. But what's kind of interesting is how we're talking about it is I think now the audience and it was intended for it's hitting us now. And
Yeah.
I remember one of you said something about the makeout scene, and I remember watching the trailer for this movie and being like, why is there a makeout scene? And then analyzing the film, that scene is actually really important. But if you're just seeing the trailer, you're
Hmm.
like, hot bitches making out, hell yeah. But no, that scene means something. It means about their friendship, power dynamics. Think about it further than girls kissing, you know? And I
Well, yeah.
think, go ahead.
It's just if it was a male female like interaction there, no one would have even like
Bat and I.
no one would have batted an eye, right? And it's just because it's two women. It's two women that are sharing an intimate moment, and I don't know, like it's crazy. Like we're in the midst of Pride Month, and I just our theater just played Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie
Oh my,
Newmar.
I love that movie so much. To see it in a theater, fly me out next time. My God.
Will do. It was a
Crazy.
first time watch for me last night.
Oh my God.
I loved it.
It's so
But
good.
the whole time I was watching that movie, I was like, fuck, the conversation hasn't changed in 30 years.
Yeah.
Like everything they were saying in that movie, I'm like, oh my God, we're still having the same dumbass conversation with people
Didn't you
30
play
years later.
But I'm a Cheerleader the week
We
before
did.
too?
We played But I'm a Cheerleader 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
And like
Yep.
yeah, both of those movies are not, I
Still
wouldn't even
very
say far
relevant.
ahead of their time, but just why hasn't time caught up to those
Yeah.
movies?
Right.
Totally agree.
And I
Totally
agree. So I will say this about Jennifer's Body. I still don't love this movie, but I love the themes of this movie. And I
Yeah.
love what it's going for, and I love that there is an audience for it. For me, where it doesn't work is as a horror movie. But I think literally everything else works. I came around, I will say this, Sam, I think I talked about this last time. I didn't love Megan Fox the first time
Oh my
I
God, you
watched
changed
it.
your tune?
I will say this. That is the biggest tune change I have of, okay, yes, this is Megan Fox's best performance by far. I
That's
think she
all
is
I needed to
incredible in
hear,
this.
buddy.
Yeah, I think she just knocks it out of the park in this movie. I think Amanda Seyfried is incredible in this movie too. I think
Oh God, yeah.
she's one of the most underrated actresses of the
So
past 20 years. I think she's incredible in this movie.
for some
Mhm.
reason, I'm not a hater of hers, but I'm not an appreciator of hers, which kind of makes me a hater. Just if I see her in a project, I'm like, whatever, I don't want to watch it. But rewatching this movie, I was like, damn, she's good, Amanda.
Yeah.
Like, it made me be willing to like revisit some of her stuff. I don't know where I lost her like maybe a movie I didn't like, but I'm like,
We
okay,
just watched Mamma Mia like literally the day before we moved, which is like 3 days before I watched Jennifer's Body. So I'm like, apparently in a
You're-
Amanda Seyfried mood.
Yeah.
But I'm like, she's the best part of Mamma Mia. I think she's
Maybe-
incredible in that movie.
That's so funny. I'm in a Jason Bateman mood and I can't get away from him. Oh my God. But what I will say, Casey, is you said something earlier about we don't like that it's a rape revenge film. I completely, you kind of forget about that, right? Oh, it's a period film it's about friendship. It's about period. No, it really is about rape and revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was going through this with Emma, I was like, wait, there's something missing here too. If you found out your best friend got sexually assaulted and is now turning into a demon, I wouldn't go straight to where Needy goes. I would go like, wow, let's capitalize on this. Let's get the bad boys we don't want. Let's get them out of here. And that we'll be feeding you and you'll remain hot. You're beautiful in any state you are, but right now you're hot. So let's keep feeding that so we can get all the bad boys out of there. I'd go that direction, or like, oh my God, how do we help you? How do we reverse this spell? I wouldn't go to like, we gotta eliminate you, Jennifer. You're my sandbox best friend, but like, you gotta go.
I mean, I don't know if she's there until Jennifer targets Chip.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam, I'm gonna lose you in another. I'm sorry.
God damn
I don't
it.
like
All
Chip.
right.
I don't like Chip as a character.
I also,
Okay.
I don't like Chip, but I also can relate to what you said about him, Sam. I don't like him because he's kind of a buffoon. And
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you
He's
like him.
100% a buffoon. No argument there.
That's why I can't. I'm like, Chip, you fucking dumbass. Like, come on. Also,
Yeah.
why does it have to be? Why does it have to be like, I want your boyfriend? Like, why does it have to be like that? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
He
does
is
feel
so
a little.
and
yeah.
for me that's kind of one of the things in the third act where I don't necessarily buy the tension, like the physical tension between Jennifer and Needy. I buy the emotional tension between them, but I'm also like, why is there a guy here? Like, who gives a shit about this guy? Like, it is clearly about those two characters together. Why
Wait,
does a boy
Casey-
need to be involved in the third act at all?
Can I be a devil's advocate or a Jennifer's advocate or a Adam Brady's
Yeah.
A
advocate?
devil's kettle advocate. Yeah.
Devil's kettle advocate. There you go. That was perfect. Right in front of me. Couldn't take it. But that's literally how it be with girls. We don't care. Like, you think it's about the boys? No. I want to go after that girl's boyfriend. Like, that's how it is in high school. So that's just demonstrating the cutthroatery of girlfriends. You know?
Yeah.
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 I think that's exactly why she does it too, because it's like she's like, what's
It's
like
a power
something
mode, right?
I can like, yeah, it's a power dynamic thing, and it's like, what can I do that's gonna get under her skin? It's not because she actually likes Chip, like at all. Like it's more.
Oh yeah, you can tell there's no chemistry between
No, there's
the two
none.
of them.
No.
That makeout scene on the tree is atrocious.
Oh yeah.
And
And
to
it's like-
an extent, it's friendship testing. It's testing their friendship. It's like Needy saying one thing to see if Jennifer will do it, and then Jennifer is taking that bait, so Needy now has more fuel for her anger. And I'm like, that's literally how high school is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. Try being a girl.
Yeah. I also like really do love the whole metaphor for like the period situation too, because there's like, we see as soon as Jennifer is like turned into this like demon, she has these moments where if she hasn't like fed, then she's like really low on energy. She looks like shit. And I mean that like she just looks like she hasn't slept, and like, she feels a little sunken in, skin isn't as bright, hair doesn't look as good. But then it's like the minute that she like feeds, all of a sudden she's this like supermodel again. She's feeling great. She's like positive. Like
I am a god.
yeah, like nothing could literally like get in her way. And so it's like I just love that too, because like that's how we can feel like sometimes, like as women, when we like go through our cycles. It's just like, it truly is a cycle. That's like why they call it. I was just telling Allie today on the phone that I have like a few days during each month where I just like want to cry at like the drop of a hat for no reason. And it's like I have contributed that to like being an effect of my hormones, just going through it, because there's like nothing that's making me inherently sad. It's just like what we have to deal with as women.
And even like, it's like a metaphor for the stages of your cycle and PMSing, and how Sam, you mentioned, or Casey, one of you mentioned how Jennifer says it's fading, it's like wearing off. And that's kind of how it, like, you kind of have a glow up during your cycle, and then it starts to fade, and you're like, oh, it's melting away. I'm melting away. And Diablo Code, the entire film crew does a great demonstration of making Megan Fox just, I mean, it's Megan Fox. How is she ever going to look like shit? But like, it's, as a girl, you're like, oh man, she's putting her foundation on with her fingers. She's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys probably don't catch that as a guy, but like girls like don't do that really. Usually there's some sort of apparatus that's helping.
Yeah.
Just as
She's
so
having-
like
If she's raw dogging that on her face, like, that's a bad day.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, because it does. It looks like she's like literally doing face paint, like at that point. Like it's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's a line, I want to mention a line at the end just to bring up the subjectification of Jennifer, is when she's with Chip in the pool and talking about being your cycles and how you can feel, Emma, like how you kind of feel down sometimes during your cycle, and how Jennifer's sitting on the ledge of this pool and she says to Chip, she says something like, I feel empty inside, and Chip says, me too. She turns to Chip and says, let's make out or something. So she's taking her emotion and turning into sex. She's like, I can't deal with this emotional shit. Let's make out. So she's using, it's like she's just another instance where she's using her body as this, tool.
A way not to feel almost.
Yeah. And it's
not to actually feel.
Also, if you want to look at it on the horror movie side, she's hungry, like she's ready to eat this guy
totally.
too.
Yeah.
So Casey,
That's my favorite line of the third act. I love that line.
Yeah.
Which one?
The I feel empty inside. And
Yeah.
and that was kind of my like Danny DeVito I get it moment with Megan Fox of like yeah, that line delivery specifically.
I'm gonna need some context for the Danny DeVito of it, but I want to know, Casey. I want to know your gripe with it as a horror film beyond it just basically not being a horror film.
Sure. To answer your first part, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, when Mac like does an interpretive dance coming out as gay, Danny DeVito's like in the front row watching it, and he's like sitting there bawling, and he's like, "I get it."
Yeah. After he's spent a whole episode telling this character like, I'm never gonna get you, I'm never gonna understand you, you're weird, like, and
Yeah.
then he like, it's actually
like Danny DeVito should have won an Emmy for that line delivery alone.
It should have 100% just been Danny DeVito's Emmy that year. Yeah.
The part at the end of the third act, and even comparing this to Ginger Snaps, is like in Ginger Snaps, I felt like B could really not make it out of that movie. Like I was worried for her. I was worried that Ginger as the werewolf was going to get her. Here in the third act of Jennifer's Body, I never feel like Jennifer is actually going to hurt Needy. Like I just don't feel that tension. And like, it's just going to end bad. And for me, it just kind of ends with like, oh, they end up going back to her bedroom, which I get. Like, I think that maybe that is probably where this movie should end, because the pool is kind of just ancillary.
The
like
pool
they have
is
no
weird.
history in that pool. It's all the history in the bedroom. They talk about during the makeout scene, like, oh, we always sleep over in each other's beds.
Yeah.
So very clearly they spent a lot of time. So maybe I just wanted that whole third act to get rid of Chip completely and just have it all inside of the bedroom and have the big climax in there.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you with the taking, even the dance scene. Like, why have a dance even? Like, we had the dance for I get the plot point of we're getting ready for the dance, but we spend 2 seconds at the dance, it's pointless. And then we get to this fully new setting, which I completely agree with you, Casey. We're just now introduced to it with our history here. I'm with you with the emotional attachment to the bedroom. I thought that was not explored enough. Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that. This is not a scary movie, and it's not. If you look at it, it's almost not a horror movie. But I think that the key difference between this and Ginger Snaps is just the willingness to this studio production of it. I guess I don't know anything about Ginger Snaps and how that was made, but that feels like a movie that the filmmakers are happy with. It feels like they got the outcome they wanted with that film. They're like, people didn't like it, or they did, and we're happy with it. Jennifer's Body, we know that's not the outcome. This isn't necessarily the movie or the outcome they wanted at the time. Now it might be getting that insight and recognition, but it took a second. And I think now we're catching up with Jennifer's Body, where I feel like Ginger Snaps will stay in its little cult magical place. And then there's also the huge difference of they're both kind of about periods, but then you have this real big, and boys are attached to both of them, right? Boys are always attached to the coming of age story, but the sexual assault of it is unique to Jennifer's Body. So these movies are so similar, but they're also so different in tone, story, all of those things.
Yeah.
Playing devil's kettle advocate. I'm going to take that one, Casey. Thank you. On the dance thing, I love the decision to set up the dance as something that, like, Jennifer or Needy's line that it's like, it's going to be an all-you-can-eat buffet, sets you up for, like, oh, shit's going to go down at the dance. Megan Fox is going to eat a bunch of people. Everybody's going to find out she's a demon. And then when that doesn't happen, it throws you off. Yeah. And I agree. The pool set is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Visually. Like, visually, I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. But also, yeah, why have we not spent time here before?
And I don't love
you know,
flashbacks in movies. Maybe this could have used a flashback right here where it's the girls as kids in that pool.
Totally.
Yeah, or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. But also, okay, there's another great line in the third act of this movie.
Is it the "you give me such a wetty"? Oh no, that's when Colin. That line grosses me out so much, and I'm like, I know. Like, I love Diablo Cody just for the fact that she made a female, like, version of the word boner.
Yeah.
Like, amazing. Like, the crassness of that, like, you know, by that point, we're all desensitized to boner, but hearing Megan Fox say, you give me such a wetty, it's like, oh! And then you're like, yeah, no, that's what every woman feels like when they hear, oh, you give me a, you know, like.
Yep.
Wait, I think we should maybe bring that back in 2026. I'm here
for
it. Yeah. Let's start that now.
But the line in the third act is I thought you only ate boys. I go both ways.
Go both ways.
Like, yeah, that's the line.
So good. Yep. It's like, it's just so brilliant. And yeah, going back to, like, the dance scene, I do agree with you, Sam, that, like, I kind of did like it because it does set that up. It sets it up as, like, you think that this is going to be the climactic area, right? It almost reminds me of, like, I'm a big fan of, like, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, and, like, I don't know if you guys know, but that's, like, you know, they go to the dance, and that's, like, when the vampires come, and just, like, things happen at dances. Even Carrie.
Hey.
That's where, like,
I love a dance. Put a dance in all the things. But, like...
And so I feel like that's what they were trying to do. And I kind of love that nothing happened at the dance, because that was a tease from Diablo Cody to just be like, oh no, like, you thought some shit was going to go down here, but, like, we're not going to let everything off like that easy and let Jennifer be, like, exposed to every single person of, like, who she truly is. Like, there's almost still this, like, kind of privately type of, like, thing, you know?
Or even beyond that, Needy's like, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. But no, it's even scarier because no, Needy, it's not. Because she just wants one entree, and it's Chip.
Yeah.
Well, and the cut, when it starts playing Death by White Lies, which is just a fucking great song anyways. And
every great, like, movie about succubus or female vampires needs to have a White Lies death needle drop.
Fully
agree. 100%.
Fully agree.
Sam, do you catch my reference?
Oh, I do, 100%. A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night is so good.
One of the best movies we've ever covered on the show.
Okay. I have that on my list. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
That and Cobweb.
Yes, Cobweb is awesome too. The Death by White Lies playing, and then it just cutting to the silence of the park, to the ambiance where Chip is being a dumbass and walking alone through a dark park. Like,
after his mom just gave him frickin' pepper spray. And was like, there's someone out there going after boys.
What do you know what they said Colin Gray looked like when they found him?
Yeah.
Lasagna with teeth.
It's okay, Mom. I've been using the Bowflex.
Yes. Yeah. The fucking Bowflex.
Bowflex. Talk about the timestamps. Literally. All of that.
So good. Oh my gosh. I don't know if we're ready to talk about the ending, but I have a lot of thoughts on the ending.
Okay. Shoot.
Yeah.
So we kind of touched on it like a tiny bit, but I think like, it hurt my heart so much seeing like that back and forth in the end, like in the bedroom, because of the fact that there was that mention previously of like they've done so much together, they've grown up having sleepovers. Like a bedroom's also someone's like very vulnerable spot, and even Jennifer, after this whole pool scene, we see her just in her pajamas, writing in her journal, like she would as a normal teenage girl, right?
Circling boys in the yearbook that she thinks are tasty.
There you go. Like, and it's very just like, it just feels like very innocent, and it almost turns like everything on its head with like Needy coming in, and like Needy's almost like the aggressor now. I mean, she is in the scene technically. And like it feels like such an intimate scene because everything goes down in the bedroom. And then especially like at the very end when like the mom comes in after like Jennifer has been stabbed, and it's just like now
That's
we're
the
going
only time you see her mom.
Yeah.
Is when she literally comes in and sees her daughter dead.
Yeah, and it's just you're like, "Whoa, this was like not how I was anticipating this ending," you know?
Mm-hmm.
I
But it
almost
also manages to be funny too, because there's that like, it's a box cutter. It's for
Yeah.
cutting boxes.
Yeah.
Do you buy all your murder weapons at Home Depot? God, you're a butch. Like,
So good. So good. And the iconic line of like my tit, like, I love to say that anytime I get hit in the boob. I'm like, that's like my new favorite line.
yes.
and like the ripping of the necklace too, like it's all like
Yes.
so symbolic. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could, I mean, I'm almost like I could use a little less of the punchy lines on my end, but I do
Fair.
love that. Yeah, it is kind of a lot. But at least when you go into this movie, you kind of know, like when at Ginger Snaps, it does, like I said, it walks that fine line without going too corny. Not corny. Corny is the wrong word. Corny. And then this one it just goes into the corny. The humor, the corny.
This is
Yeah.
pure camp. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing.
Does not shy
it
away
stays
at all.
campy the entire time.
And
Yeah.
I gotta say, I am a camp counselor. I am a camp attendee. I am all
Love
things
camp.
camp. I love camp.
Yep. Same. It's,
I mean, the movie ends when Needy gets out of the like mental asylum she's in, and she's like walking past a sign that literally says "Low Shoulder" as she's walking
Yep.
to go kill all the members of Low Shoulder.
Oh, and you got that great Lance Henriksen cameo at the end there,
Yeah.
like where he plays the truck driver that picks her up, and like, must be one hell of a band. Yeah. Tonight's their last show. And you just know, you're like, even if they hadn't done the montage over the end credits, if they had just like had it drive off and ended the movie there, like your mind fills in the blanks, and I love that. But then of course the montage happens at the end over that fucking terrible song. And I just love it so much. I love it so much.
Yeah, you almost like think like for a moment you're like after the bedroom like killing scene, you're almost like, okay, done. Like, Needy has
Yeah.
effectively gotten what we as the audience has been her goal like the entire time, right? Is just to like stop Jennifer from doing like what she's doing. And then it got personal. Well, not necessarily stop. That's not like her goal like the entire time, but like just try to figure out what the hell was going on with her first of all. And then like as soon as Chip came into the mix, like, okay, we need to stop whatever is happening here. It became personal. And then like the fact that there was still that added like level at the very end where it's like, oh, well, like Needy still loves her best friend and always will and has that deep connection. Like, of course she's going to go ahead and carry out like a revenge plot. And like the fact that she also gets some like residual powers from Jennifer, like was not seeing
Oh,
that.
yeah. Wait, what was that about too? Like in the beginning I totally forgot about that part. Like her hands glowing and then she can feel her during sex. Like, kind of forgot about that part.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
Oh, yeah.
she's like floating and stuff too, like at the end, and she's like able to escape. Like it's
Walks right through a chain link fence. Yeah.
She's like an X-Men.
yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She is. Where's Professor X when you need him?
Yeah. I just the end with like, I love that they show Low Shoulder just like enjoying success in the most douchebag way
Yes.
possible
Oh
before
my
it all goes down. Like they're doing coke and they've got champagne and they've got girls
Trashing their
everywhere.
hotel room.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
doing what
Trashing
they
And they're
think
like,
rock bands do.
and they're like kicking the cameraman out of rooms and stuff. They're like, ha ha ha, you know, and all this. And like, I'm okay. So I played in a band semi-professionally for like a chunk of time after high school. I knew bands like that,
Yeah.
who were like not big by any decent metric, but who just like had one song blow up and they were
Yeah.
like, we're the greatest thing ever. And like nowadays, like they are all like insurance agents.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Because like you do that, you like you let it go to your head and you party, and like you either end up stabbed to death by some disgruntled fan,
Yep.
or you end up selling insurance later. So you
There
know,
you
How do
go.
you
the
pick?
moral of the story is don't sacrifice girls and don't do coke, and
Yeah.
you'll
Yeah.
probably
You'll
live
be
a pretty
okay.
happy life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I
Yeah,
can
I
do
think
that.
like I think
Yeah.
overall I just like absolutely like loved this film and I loved how it ended. I don't know if there was a world, to be completely honest, where I saw Jennifer still like surviving unless there was like a complete reversal of what happened. But like that's not gonna happen, you know, that just
I'm with I want to see it through Jennifer's lens. I want to see this entire movie through Jennifer's experience and see how
Yeah.
that goes.
yeah, that would
Yeah.
be very interesting.
Well, and Diablo Cody has talked about how she has an idea and even like a script for a Jennifer's Body too, should it
Yes.
happen.
Yeah.
God, I hope it happens because there's not been a single Diablo Cody project that I haven't liked.
Yeah.
Like she's just a great writer. Like young adult, Tully,
Oh,
fucking Lisa
Tully's so
Frankenstein.
good.
Like
Lisa Frankenstein.
Tully is
Yeah.
amazing.
Tully
Yeah,
is
and
so good.
Young Adult
and
makes me so depressed, you guys. I want to go watch it right now.
oh God, it is one of the like most depressing movies you will ever watch. But I just think Charlize is so good in it, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I love that movie. But I don't know, like I could see maybe a sequel. I'm like, well, A, how do you bring her back? Because
Yeah.
Jennifer's dead. So how do you have a Jennifer's Body 2?
Mhm.
So maybe it's one of those things where, you know, Allie, you brought up Twilight earlier. I love that. Thank you so much. You know, there's what I can't remember what the book was called, but Stephanie Meyer like rewrote the first Twilight book over like on Edward's perspective, and I'm like, could that be a possibility? Like coming at it from a different angle, coming at it from Jennifer's point of view, where Megan Fox is legitimately the lead,
Yeah.
and I'm interested in that. I'm also interested in like whatever they do with it because I'm like, this is one of my favorite movies ever. If you want to
You're
make
like,
another
also-
one, hell yeah, yeah.
Kind of going back to what Emma said though, I feel like almost too much time. Hashtag Me Too. Hashtag Me Too. Much time has passed. Get it?
Yes.
Hashtag too. You get it.
But isn't
hopefully
Megan
not-
Fox like a real life vampire? Like I think she could
Yeah.
still pull this
Oh.
off.
She
True.
could still play
Or-
high school, and I
Yeah.
would not blink. Yeah, yeah,
And Amanda Seyfried for that matter.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Sure. Bring them all back. Adam Brody can
Yes.
reprise his role.
Oh my god. I'll watch a Making the Band of Low Shoulder any day.
Oh my
Oh
god.
God, yeah.
That's
Brilliant
what they should
concept.
do.
Yes.
Do a low shoulder spin off, like a VH1 behind the music.
Yes.
But they have to interview J.K. Simmons with his hook hand as like
Yes.
like the number one
his-
leader of the low shoulder fan club.
Yes.
with his button up, but he has a low shoulder T-shirt over
Yeah.
it. Like, yeah,
And his crazy wig, doesn't he have like a crazy
Yes.
half toupee?
Yeah.
so big. Yeah,
And
And the hook.
and his over the top Minnesota accent.
Totally.
We don't need to be talking about who's a cool dude
yeah.
and who's a hoe.
With as someone with a wife from Minnesota, that's not an over the top accent.
It's actually not. No, it
Like,
really
it's pretty
isn't.
accurate.
It's fairly accurate.
Long
yeah,
O's are very common. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Spooky
All right.
chick.
Sam, I'm gonna ask it to you first because I already know the answer to this. How many?
Yeah, you
What
do.
are we gonna give this? What's our fun little gimmick?
Soul shits? Are we gonna give it soul shits?
How many
Shit souls?
slippery swirl condoms are you giving this movie out of 5?
I love that that's what you go with.
Amazing.
I'm gonna
Target, super Target or whatever.
super Target to pick up more condoms.
Yep.
Love.
I am gonna give Jennifer's Body what I've been giving it for the last 17 years, and I'm gonna say this is 5 out of 5 slippery swirl condoms. I cannot get enough of this movie. I watch it at least once a year, if not 3 or 4 times a year, because I'm obsessed with it and I love it, and I listen to the soundtrack way too much too. So still to this day,
So good.
I'm gonna give it
yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 4. Remind me, it's a slippery what condom?
Slippery swirl.
Slippery. I'm gonna give it 4 slippery swirl condoms. I don't know if I'll ever give anything 5 slippery swirl condoms or werewolf teeth. I'm just that picky or harsh. But this was a solid 4 for me. I enjoyed the shit out of it. It did take me. It would have been like a 2 or 3 had I not rewatched it very recently. Because why would it be in my brain? But Casey, it might grow on you the more you rewatch, like it did me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 5 slippery swirl condoms. I'm right there with you. I love this film so much, and it just there's just something about it, and just I love it. I'm so happy to see that it's getting the accolades that it deserves, so it makes me just like warm and fuzzy inside. And so like how could I not give it that many condoms, you know?
Yeah.
All of the condoms.
All of them. All right, Casey, how many super swirl condoms are you picking up at Super Target for this movie?
Slippery swirl.
Slippery swirl condoms are you picking up at Super Target?
I'm giving this 3 out of 5.
Yes.
Okay.
I am more positive than negative on this. I still think there's some things I wish I liked more, but like overall, I had a blast watching it this time compared to the first time I watched it. So I feel like I will continue to watch it and continue to like this movie more and more every time I watch it.
Do you know what he gave it the first time he watched it?
Did
Was
he
it a
refuse
1?
to rate it?
He gave it 2 stars. 2.
Casey.
Casey. Through the Trees alone makes this a 3-star movie.
Listen, Through the Trees is a whole star rating itself, so now it bumped it all the way up to a 3.
Amazing.
I love it. I love it. I think everyone's scores make sense for them.
Yeah.
And again, props to you guys for pairing these together. That's a literal perfect pairing.
No, it's so good. I love that it challenged us to finally watch Ginger Snaps too, and like I can't wait to watch that more. Like truly like gonna watch it probably again tonight, and then definitely like during Halloween for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you two for being on the show. This is I love that we got to actually talk these movies with people who were passionate about them and had a different perspective than us because again, dudes. But yeah, this has been great. I have wanted to cover this double feature on the podcast since we started it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is one of those double features that was on our list since day one. So
Yes.
Well, I got it. I mean, I'm happy we did this one. Love these movies, but I'm low key very jealous that we missed Halloween Town and Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Yeah, that was a fun episode.
Thank you guys though so much for having us on. This was so much fun. We appreciate you both, and it was just so great to, you know, go from Instagram friends to now like podcast friends, and you know, can't wait to have you guys on for Leprechaun in Space. So
Yes.
yes,
So excited.
thank you again for having us. This was like truly a blast.
absolutely. And before we let you go, though, where can people find Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks? And what is your latest episode?
Yes, so by the time this comes out, we will actually have just released a new episode on Suspiria. So that comes out on Thursday the 18th. And you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Letterboxd, all of the things at Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks. And we also have a website, spookychickspod.com.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, everybody, all of our listeners, check out Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks. It's such a fun podcast. If you like the banter that Casey and I have, but you wish that the co-hosts were a little smarter. It's perfect. So
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
yeah, cool.
Wait, we didn't do the
Casey,
Scooby Doo thing.
we did not. Do you want? We've been going for a long time. You have the opportunity to opt out
Do
if
we
you
want
want.
to do that? Otherwise, me and Sam are happy to knock out our finale, just us two. Are you two down to continue our almost 3-hour marathon?
We don't have to. I just didn't want to upset your flow, your
Oh
formula.
no.
No, we
Oh
can
no.
jump into it right now.
Yeah.
Sam can ask that question that he loves
I
to
can
ask.
totally
Let's do
ask the
it.
question.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's do it then. I'll start with Allie. Allie, what have you been doobie doing lately?
Be doing a lot of rewatching. Well, for new stuff, I just saw Obsession, like everybody else and their mother.
Yeah.
Which was great. I could talk about that for like 3 hours, but I do be rewatching a lot because comfort, you know? And something I'm rewatching right now is Jericho, and I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but it's a limited series.
Oh, yeah.
Maria loves that show.
Really?
Loves it. Yes.
So obviously we love Skeet, but
Yep.
beyond Skeet, it's just a good show with some really randomly good actors, like so random. And it's about almost basically COVID in a way. I started watching it the first time during COVID, and then I just picked it back up again last week. Low-key a good watch. Highly recommend.
Hell
Jericho.
yeah.
Love that.
Yep.
And kind of horror adjacent because it's like apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Emma, what about you? What have you been doobie doing lately?
Ooh, I do be doing a lot of movie watching also and show watching. So I Obsession, just like everyone else, back rooms. I also recently saw Disclosure Day as well.
Ooh, how was that?
I loved it in the fact that it felt nostalgic and it gave me like Close
Okay.
Encounters and like ET vibes a little bit, and like I just am a sucker for like a Spielberg movie, and there was like a
Yeah.
part or two that made me cry. Do I think it's like the best movie in the world? No. I do kind of want to watch it again as soon as it comes out on streaming so that I can like give it a second chance, but overall, it was entertaining. A little bit long, a little bit on the long side, but still liked it. One thing I am absolutely loving is Widow's Bay on Apple TV. It is so freaking good, you guys. If you have not seen it, go check it out. It is a good mix of like horror, but it has a little bit of comedy in there. It feels very like honestly it feels kind of Scooby-Doo-ish a little bit. So very
Hell yeah.
appropriate to the theme of this last segment here. And yeah, I'm just like looking forward also to like other horror movies that are coming out in the next like couple months too. I've got that movie pass, so I'm going to the movies like all the time.
She's an AMC
Nice.
A-lister, you guys. You're
I
talking
am.
to a celebrity right here.
Oh my
Heck yeah.
God.
I
That's
am an
amazing.
A-lister.
I wish we had an AMC so we could do that here. We don't have
I know.
AMC.
You
Yeah.
Oh my
guys
God.
need one.
Yeah.
I get free movies a lot just because, I work at a theater, but
Yes.
we're a twin theater, so I don't always get the movies I want. When you only have two screens, it's hard to program everything you want,
What a
Totally.
dream,
especially
though.
when
What
you're
a
doing.
dream job.
Yeah, what a
Career
Oh
day.
yeah, it's great. It's great, I still have to get to Backrooms before it expires.
yeah. Clock was ticking,
So,
Sam.
yeah. Casey, what about you? What have you been doobie doing lately?
Moving to a new house and trying to get my internet to work. That's what I've been doobie doing lately. But before that, we watched a couple movies, kind of just as we were packing and cleaning up some stuff. We watched the 2010 movie Megaconda. I was just in the mood for like a cheap little sci-fi channel movie, so we watched
Love.
Megaconda, directed by Fred Olen Ray's son, and co-starring our friend Sam Michelle Bauer, who shows up as like
Oh,
a
no kidding?
survivalist out in the woods. So actually, for
Oh,
like a
hell yeah.
sci-fi channel, like cheap little giant snake movie, it's fun. It's a fine little 2010s sci-fi channel movie. We talked about Jeff Goldblum earlier. We watched one of Kayla's favorites growing up, and it is Earth Girls Are Easy from
Oh,
1988. I had
Casey.
never seen this movie before,
What?
and Yeah, and this movie kind of blew my mind, and immediately I text Sam after watching it and was like, "Hey, we're gonna do an Earth Girls Are Easy in the Fly episode because I want to do a Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum fall in love double feature."
Oh
And
my God, lovely.
yeah, this movie is literally a fever dream. It's like if Jeff Goldblum, Jim Carrey, and which Wayne's brother is in this?
Oh, which one is, but
We just
Yeah, I
do be
don't know.
doing just saw that too. The new scary movie.
yes,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So it's them as aliens that come to Earth to hook up with California chicks, and
I
it's
can't
a
believe you-
musical. It is, yeah.
That
It's-
song Blonde. Oh my God, it's
Yeah.
brilliant.
So
That's amazing.
yeah, we will definitely be doing an Earth Girls Are Easy and the Fly episode down the road.
Wow,
Hell yeah.
I cannot wait to tune in for that.
Maybe we got to have you both back because
Oh my God,
the look on your
yes.
faces when I mentioned Earth Girls Are Easy was perfect.
That's
Yeah.
I grew up watching that film. I too watched that as like a kid with my mom.
And I'll say this here now and never repeat it, except for it's like on the airwaves. But Loki: A Sexual Awakening, kind of.
That's why we ended up watching this because that's what Kayla told me, and I'm like, okay, that's this movie.
My mom always says, just relax, have a mental margarita. That's like our little thing that we always say from the movie.
I love that.
And then
Sam, what do
last for me, speaking of the Wayans brothers, I watched Scary Movie 6.
Yes.
It's good.
What are your thoughts?
It has a better killer reveal than the last couple Scream movies. I'll give it that.
Ah, dang it. So we're getting it Friday at my theater, and so I'm very excited.
Okay,
I'm gonna
you'll
go
have
see
fun
it.
with it. I think half the
Yeah.
jokes work, half of them don't. But I'm like,
That's the original
kind of what I
movie
expect
too.
when there's
Yeah.
two jokes every 60 seconds.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of all you can ask for with it.
What I'll say is I was never a fan of the originals, just for whatever reason, and now I liked this one way more than I liked my initial first experiences with the other ones because I get
Yeah.
it more. You know, I'm older.
Yeah.
I rewatched all of them, and I said this about the first movie: how much I'm surprised Special Officer Doofy still holds up now, and
Yeah.
even Special Officer Doofy in Scary Movie 6 holds up. And I'm like, I don't know how that character works, but he does. But he does.
A true star.
Yeah.
Oh God.
All right,
Hell
Sam.
yeah.
What about you? What have
All
you
right.
been doobie doing?
So as we talked today, Casey, you asked me if I even like horror anymore, and the answer is no, because I'm still in my martial arts phase. I cannot stop watching Hong Kong martial arts movies, and it's becoming a growing problem. I just bought Jet Li's new book today, because I'm just like, I'm in it. I'm in it right now. We covered The Furious, which is a great movie, and it just kickstarted something. So I watched, the other thing, since we have Masters of the Universe currently, I watched the old Dolph Lundgren movie,
Oh wow!
and I'd never seen any Masters of the Universe things or any He-Man. I loved the 87 movie. It's so bad, but in the best possible way. Like, it's so cheesy, and like Dolph is just covered in baby oil and shirtless the entire time. So I'm just like, yeah, this is great. Like, I love this. And yeah, I really dug it. And I started watching the cartoon, and that's a ton of fun too. So I've been kind of also in a He-Man kick, weirdly. I've never cared about any of it, but I heard good things coming out of the new movie, so I was like, maybe I should check it out. But on top of that, I watched Operation Condor, which is a 1990s Jackie Chan movie. It's not one of my favorite ones that he's done, but it was worth a shot. It's kind of like him trying to be Indiana Jones and James Bond in the same movie.
Okay.
And it's okay, but the third act is insane. There's like a scene in an airplane hangar with like a high-powered fan where they're like floating through the air, and Jackie Chan's doing stunts like while they're like flying
Oh my
on
God.
this like on these like air currents. It's crazy.
Adding that to the
I
list.
also, yeah, it's fun. A movie that okay, so this one I'm gonna tell a little story, and I promise I'll make this quick because I know we've been going for like 3 hours. Kiss of the Dragon from 2001, starring Jet Li.
Yes.
Have you seen this?
Yes, I have.
Okay, as a kid, I had a friend who watched this with his parents, And he told me about it, and he told me about the end scene with the actual kiss of the dragon, where you put a needle into the back of someone's neck and they just start bleeding out of their pores and their orifices and things. And it terrified me so bad that, I'm not kidding, for the next like 10 years of my life, I slept with my back to a wall every night, because I was like, no one is putting a needle in my neck and
You're
making
like,
me
this is
bleed
a
out of my
real
face.
fear. Yeah.
Like, legitimately, until I almost graduated high school, I slept with my back to a wall. Not even kidding.
Poor thing.
Finally watched this movie, and like, the death, not as disgusting as I had it in my head, right? Like, it was good, but it wasn't like what I was picturing in my mind as like a 10-year-old at all.
Oh my
You know
God.
what? I think you just unlocked like a core memory of mine, because I know I've seen that movie, and this needle in the spine just unlocked something visually in my brain.
Oh yeah.
Now I have to go revisit it like immediately.
It's a really good movie. It's so over the top. Like, it's about corrupt cops who are just blatantly like doing like open warfare in the streets of Paris, and I'm like, seriously, no one thinks these cops are crooked? They're literally blowing machine guns into civilians. Yeah. But whatever. It's a Jet Li movie, so it doesn't matter. And then the last thing I'll talk about, another kung fu movie from 2001 that I had wanted to watch forever, because it was, the trailer for it was on like one of my VHSs or DVDs growing up. But I finally watched the cult classic Shaolin Soccer.
Oh.
It's a Stephen Chow movie. Do I have it here? I might actually. I do. Shaolin Soccer.
Say, I remember that cover
so
vividly.
It is a movie about a guy who thinks that kung fu can help you in any facet of life, who meets a disgruntled old soccer player who has a limp and has not been able to play, and is like, has a rival with like another rich guy who he used to play with in the league, and there's that rivalry set up, and he meets this guy who's like, kung fu can help you in all aspects of life. And the guy brings back his old kung fu troupe or his old like kung fu dojo to create a soccer team with the Shaolin martial arts. And it's insane. It is like one of the craziest movies I've seen. Casey, we should have paired this with Battlefield Baseball instead of Night Game, because they are so similar.
It's immediately what I was thinking of was Battlefield Baseball.
No, it definitely felt like Battle. There were multiple times where I looked at Maria. I'm like, we should have 100% paired this with Battlefield Baseball. Not a horror movie at all, but like, yeah, Shaolin Soccer, but just big recommend from me. It's so stupid in the best way.
No, I love the story already. I'm in.
No.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It's wild. It is really fun. So yeah, like I said, I've been slacking in my horror, because I've just been like, no, I want to see really athletic people kick stuff around. And so
sometimes it's funny, because I find myself watching so much for the podcast that I'm like, I'm gonna watch a different genre for other things. Who doesn't do that is Emma. Emma just constantly watches horror. She watches everything, but she just doesn't take a break from horror like ever. She's just like a machine.
And I don't know if I'm just in that phase right now where I'm just like, just nothing else is like really appealing. To be honest, I just haven't seen a lot of good movies that are newer that aren't horror recently. Like, I've tried. I watched Oscar nod movies from last year and stuff, and like, they were okay. But do I want to watch Sinners? Yes. Like, do I want to watch Weapons? Yes.
Can I bring up one thing that I do be doing and I didn't talk about it? What is Brokeback Mountain? I don't know what the impetus for me watching that was, but
was it a first time watch?
No.
Oh,
so
okay.
random.
We love
okay.
I was at a dude ranch, and I was like, I need Brokeback Mountain immediately. So I watched it. And I don't know if I'd watched it since it came out all those years ago, and obviously it was Oscar crazy movie during, like, again, kind of around Jennifer's Body. So we're like talking about Jennifer's Body, also the same time as Brokeback Mountain. Good movie, but something I have such a hard time with is at the end, Heath Ledger is 24 playing his character at like 40 or whatever, towards the end of midlife. Kate Mara is playing his daughter, who's supposed to be in her teens, but she's like 21. So 24-year-old Heath Ledger is playing 21-year-old Kate Mara's Dad. And it pisses me off.
That's
Okay.
fine. It just pisses her off.
That's all. But all that to say, good movie. Good movie.
You bringing up Brokeback Mountain reminded me. You brought it up on your Jennifer's Body episode when you were talking about the parallels between Colin Gray singing to Screeching Weasel
I
on his
did.
way to meet Jennifer, and you said it reminded you of the scene where is it Jake Gyllenhaal who's like jamming to a song thinking he's gonna get laid, and then Heath Ledger's kids are there.
Oh my God, did I say that?
You must
You
have.
100% did.
Oh
You
my
drew
God,
you drew a parallel
I
between
think
those two
about-
movies.
Brokeback Mountain way more than I should.
No, you
No, because it's a great movie.
that's the thing. It's you should. We should think
Yeah.
about it more.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm here for
Agreed.
that conversation when it needs to happen. Wow. Way to call me out.
Full circle. Whenever Jennifer's Body is around, Brokeback Mountain's not too far behind.
Which
Yeah.
means neither is the Polar Express, so who knows?
Yeah. Hey, look, you got another one in before in this 3-hour episode. You got another reference in.
You did.
I mean, 3 hours there. I'm surprised there's not more.
Yeah.
All right, Sam. Well,
Awesome.
let's wrap up this 3-hour marathon. Where can people find us online?
Yeah, you can find us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube if you like that video component, even though you can't see Casey's face on this episode. Yeah, you can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky if you want to keep up with any of our shenanigans, including the pod and or events that we have coming up. Casey, if they want to support the show, how can they do that?
Yeah, best way to do so is by joining our Patreon. We have $1 and $5 tiers. Every month you get some bonus content, including a monthly bonus episode. Sam, we got to find out what we're going to do for the month of June. Maybe we need to cover like Brokeback Mountain or something non-horror
Probably.
related for the month of June.
Yeah,
Shaolin
let's do
Soccer.
it. Yeah, we should cover Shaolin Soccer.
Double feature.
Brokeback Mountain and Shaolin Soccer, yeah.
They
I
can
love
also
that.
check out our merch store on tpublic.com, link in the episode description to pick up any of our super cool Screams from the Basement merch. If you want to pick up a 303 inspired shirt that I'm wearing right now that you totally can see on the video component here, check that out on our TeePublic store.
It's awesome.
Hell yeah. All right. So for us, that's Screams from the Basement. Check out Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks anywhere you get podcasts. We will 100% continue to be in touch and obviously have to have more episodes because this was a blast. But for the sign off, reminder that on this show we support trans youth. Fuck ICE, get them out of our cities and airports. Horror has always been political. Thanks for tuning in, and sweet screams, everybody.
Woo.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.